This isn't for everyone, but neither is this fucking podcast. This is the Imperial Schools of Honor podcast. I'm Josh Folan.
And I'm Jay Baxtron.
And we are going to be bullshitting about the 400 years of console gaming as we revisit the periodicals that covered it again. Today we are having the whole cul-de-sac over for a Bigfoot pizza party and a hardcore sesh with Capcom's 1990 release of Yo Noid on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Emulation disclosure, I played on the Nestopia RetroArch Core on my PC with a standard USB NES controller piped in. Jay, how did you play?
And I played the exact same way.
All right. Please rate and review the podcast. Be part of the ISOH movement. Give us validation on the podcast platform of your choice, in the form of a rating or review, and we will read it here on the pod. What are we jamming on now? Jay, that's not Diablo behind you.
That is not. Definitely still playing Diablo, though. Don't get it twisted. still working through that with Courtney. It's funny, talking to people at work because everybody's still playing through it. A lot of people have beat the campaign and they moved on to the end game now, so definitely still playing Diablo.
We set last night on, I think it was on 4th of July. In the morning we're like, we got to find something to quest on. Fuck it, should we just bite the bullet and get Diablo? And we're like, I guess, okay. So it took all day to even get it. Not all day, but it took a while. We decided we should, while we're eating or something, it should be downloading, so we should get it done. So we finally get it up on the screen, and I looked at it and I was like, $70. I was like once I saw it visually, I was like, fuck you, no way. And nope, didn't do it.
Oh my gosh. You're missing out. It really is a quality game. When you get into it, the cinematics, the gameplay, everything about it is still quality. There'll always be the internal debate about how much games should cost, how much they.
It's not worth $70. There's no way it's worth $70.
Oh, it definitely is. But that's just me. The amount of playtime you can get out of that game, and the amount of playtime we have gotten out of it, yeah. Agree to disagree. But okay. Other than that, yeah, man, I am playing Wild Hearts. So this is such a unique game coming from EA. I'm assuming you haven't heard of it. Okay, so I saw the trailer for this before it was released.
I don't know. I guess that's a word that could easily be.
Yeah. I remember Courtney and I kind of seeing the trailer and thinking oh, that game looks like it might be interesting. Let's check it out when it comes out. And so it's based in a beautiful Asian fantasy environment. You're a hunter, in a similar vein of a Monster Hunter or a Dauntless. So you the gameplay loop
is it couch co-op?
No, it is online co-op. So, but I'll get to that because that part is actually really, really good. But yeah, the environment and storytelling provides so much more intrigue than I got with Dauntless. Dauntless, it's not really a story. You're just going out hunting beasts together, getting gear to make better gear, and then going out to hunt more monsters. There's not really a lot of detail there. But with this, the story is really good. It gives you much more of why you're doing it and where you're at. Additionally, you have this what they call karakuri, which are these fantasy gadgets that you can build on the fly to help battle what they call kimono, which are the wild mythical beasts. That's what they're called. And so you're in this mythical Asian environment, and these kimono are kind of taking over part of the land. And when they do, they have different abilities, so they're obviously screwing up the natural biodiversity and everything, and people end up moving away and settling in different cities.
Doesn't kimono hard mean robe?
Not that kimono. Not kimono that kind
right,
of kimono.
But isn't that what the word means?
It's spelled different. That's all I know. It's spelled different.
Copy.
Sounds the same, but I know it's a different word. Because even when I first started playing the story and they were talking about these kimono, I'm like, what are they talking about? And then when I came across them, I'm like, oh, these are the kimono. I get it. So I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce it differently, but that's what it sounds like in the game. But it's really fun. The art style is really good. It has a lot of different elements of hey, you're going out, you're kind of, you can kind of build not an outpost, but kind of hey, your camp, and there's so much to it, little tiny things here and there that are more than just defeating a beast and getting loot. Yeah, it's more than just that. One of the things I do is, talking about the multiplayer aspect, you can much more easily call on players to assist you with taking down a giant kimono, and everybody gets credit for slaying it. So I know you didn't play Elden Ring, but like calling for assistance there is so freaking hard because you have to find somebody who's at that exact same point trying to fight that exact same boss. And then you have to like stand on the thing to try to hope somebody like
I didn't
answers
know
the call to come.
I did not know that's how it was. How the fuck did that ever work?
Yeah,
I mean, I know a lot of people played the game, but what the fuck?
I mean, well, when the game first came out, yeah, much easier because a lot of people were all over the place. But after that, like I kind of had to call, phone a friend, like, hey, can you jump on this game and help me like beat this specific kind of boss? That's why I'm still stuck on that game and haven't beat it. Very close to the end, very close. But there's this giant it's a literal giant, mountain giant troll that I cannot defeat. And I tried calling for help.
Bat signal on Reddit or something, man. There's someone out there who will.
Well, I kind of just lost like the flame for it. Like one of these days, maybe I'll go back and finish it because I am so close, but it's still annoying. But like on the flip side, this is the exact opposite of that. Like you're going out, you pull.
I wonder if that's cheap. I wonder if that's cheap yet. I should see if that's cheap yet. Probably
it's
not.
definitely on sale right now. Definitely on sale. I did see that yesterday. I don't know how cheap, but I did see it was on sale, and I was like, oh, I already own it. But but there is the Ultimate Game sale going on, so check it out. But yeah, you can much more easily call for assistance. Like you're going out to hunt for this specific beast because you need like this thing that it has, or you're trying to, fulfill a quest that somebody had. Like, hey, we really need you to help take down. You're the special hunter, so you can much more easily just call for help, and people just join you and join up. Like, I don't know why Elden Ring, for all that its toughness, like I don't know why it did it the way that it did, because it's so easy for me playing a game like this to just like, why didn't they do it that way? But
yeah, if you're gonna have it at all, I don't see why there would be any friction to it. That seems dumb to me. But
yeah, that's
I don't make AAA video games. There's a lot of things that seem dumb to me.
The good thing about this too is that like you just put up your hunter's version of the bat signal, and I've never had a problem getting help. So the game is still healthy. People are playing it regularly, and you don't really need to get on mic to chat with them. It's like, all right, let's go use your katakuri skills and like take them down. And so it's really fun because like at first I didn't really understand what was going on. It's like this magical box that's some mythical thing, and it gets implanted in you. So that's how you're able to call on these gadgets. And like the more that you do in the story, the more you unlock more and special gadgets, which allow you to either build a giant wall.
Do they call them gadgets in the game?
No, they're called katakuri.
Oh,
but like
okay.
they're essentially
gadget seems like very out of place.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like mythical assistance machines. I don't know what you call it, but it definitely sounds cooler than the way I'm explaining it.
Okay.
It flows within a story, makes it much
work.
very fantasy. It doesn't break the fantasy logic, but it's a blast, man. I'm having so much fun with it. It's something that I had to kind of force myself to put down to do other things from time to time because I'm like, wow, I could just keep doing this. I don't know like what like the end of the game looks like or how you get there since I'm much earlier on, but I've played it a lot and still having a blast. So
Word.
Definitely having fun with some Wild Hearts. After that, a fun one which I never thought would be as fun as it is My Hero 1's Justice. Now this game is based on the popular anime franchise My Hero Academia. I'm assuming you've never heard of that.
No, dude, My Hero Academia is long ago. I don't even know. Yeah, no, that was like a Game Pass thing. I think I got. That was I told you it kind of looked a little bit River City Ransomy, and it was like a role playing game where you had to do. It was set on a school, but you had to do volleyball battles, or not volleyball, dodgeball battles.
I think you're thinking about a different game because
it's My Hero Academia was the IP for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, and it's I'm not saying it's the same game.
I think I know what you're talking about now. I think I know what you're talking
about. Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't stick through the whole thing, but it was interesting, and I was impressed with the nuance of the dodgeball battles.
That was a one-player game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think I downloaded it thinking it was multiplayer, and I was immediately disappointed because I wanted to play it with the kids, and I was like, this is single player. Never mind. So,
yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was like it's set in this juvenile story world, but the actual RPG mechanics of it were lengthy and elaborate for sure.
Okay, nice. Well, this one, based off the same franchise, and so the idea is that. At least with the anime itself, is that 80% of the population has developed what's called quirks. So basically, most of the world has mutant powers, which led to the rise of being a superhero as a profession. But to do that, you got to prove yourself, with the most direct way being getting accepted.
I do not remember that.
Like, I mean, you got to think about it like almost like being an actor. Like if everybody wants to be an actor, all of a sudden, like you really
that was the thing with that's what the volleyball or the dodgeball shit was. It was like a dodgeball school that you weren't supposed to be able to get into, right. But somehow you either talked your way in or something, but because you weren't supposed to be there, everyone looked down upon you and you were an underdog, Yeah. So,
and that's kind of the same thing with the anime, right? There's a dude who doesn't really have a quirk at first, and like he ends up meeting All Might, who is like that universe's Superman. Okay. But like his quirk is passed down, like you can give it to somebody, and like because he's so pure of heart and kind of all this and that, like he decides to bestow on him his power. So it's like all about the first season is all about him like learning to try to even deal with that, because each time he tries to use the power, he like hurts himself and has to get like, because his body can't handle it, and he has to get like healed. And so my daughter's really into the anime, and so when I saw this as a game, I'm like, hey, let's play it together. And it's actually really fun. This game specifically though, what My Hero 1's Justice, I actually have that and My Hero 1's Justice 2, but it's a fighting game. So like a 3D fighting game a la Tekken, you're moving around, but like the mechanics are so much better than I expected, because you think fighting, my immediate thought is like, okay, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like something like that. But like because the whole 3D environment really is 3D, and because everybody has superpowers, you can fly up on the wall, fight on the wall. Like there's just so much going on with the physics that it makes it really fun to use those powers. And so I haven't gone through the story yet, because when I went to start the story, and I was playing with my daughter, we realized that we're in like season 2 of of watching the anime on Hulu, and the point that we're at is before where the story starts.
Ruin the story. Yeah,
so we're like, all right. She was like, nope, we got to turn it off. Let's get to into season 2.
I respect the fuck out of that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, dude. But like, it's so good watching that, because it's anime, so it's fun, it's quirky and silly. But like the game itself, like when I'm in the mood, again, kind of going back to what I said before of like, hey, I want something that's not a first-person shooter, but I want to fight. It's really good, really fantastical. So anybody who's actually into My Hero Academia, My Hero 1's Justice is a great representation of that. Just really, I feel like I'm taking the show and I'm just jumping in and being able to play characters. So playing the shit out of that.
Okay.
Next up, a lot. So after we were going through the last Mag episode, and we were talking about WrestleMania and like which WrestleMania was the best. I know some of the disciples on Facebook were kind of talking about that, which is great. I actually jumped into WWE 2K23. Again, after playing Creed Rumble boxing, I'm like, I need some more non-first person shooters. I want to fight people, and I'm admittedly out of the loop completely when it comes to wrestling. I haven't followed it since high school. Like, I graduated high school and pretty much never watched wrestling again, So you better believe that I immediately unlocked. You come in, you have like enough gems or coins or whatever it is to unlock a character. So I had to unlock the greatest wrestler of all time, the Ultimate Warrior, first and foremost. And he's all I play with. But I haven't played it a ton yet, so there's lots to learn, obviously. But I am definitely enjoying it. I mean, I'm like, Ultimate Warrior is like an 88, and I'm fighting against people who are rated like 69. Still a struggle, because, I'm getting used to all the buttons because it's so much more complex. But the fact that it is complex, I'm like, man, I can grapple, throw people off the ropes. There's just all the things you want to do as a wrestler, you can. So I can tell this is going to be something that's going to take a bit of a learning curve to kind of get used to all of it, like any other 2K game, football, basketball, whatever it is.
I haven't played it yet, but I feel like I read and see shit that they all tend to be very well received. Like they're well done games. It's no Madden, if you will.
I just kind of wished I knew more of the wrestlers, right? Because me, it's all old school.
Yeah, I was gonna. I mean, I thought you were gonna say that there's like a story of some kind. I would be shocked to hear that
those modes, but I don't.
I was gonna say that they don't have like a career thing like 2K whatever I was playing did. I would guess they have that too, but I thought you were gonna say that you didn't know the storylines. I'm like, how can that matter at all?
Not at all, man. I've been, I have played it again. I haven't played it a ton yet, so when I do, it's more of like I want to jump into a match and kind of get used to controls and all that. I'm sure, like if I played through whatever different modes they have, I would kind of learn that, but. if I got like 30 minutes to play, I just want to go like body slam people and drop elbows. Like let's jump in.
Do that mean like all this AI conversations got how hard, like, things that AI can be tasked with, things that AI can't be tasked with. I feel like concocting believable and organic, well integrated wrestling storylines is well within AI's capability. Right? So it's probably pretty good. It's probably are not good, but pretty on par with if you were following real world wrestling storylines.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's probably not far.
Yeah, but more to come on that, because I will play through some of the other modes. Like I said, I just had to unlock my dude. I still will have to unlock like Bret the Hitman Hart, the Undertaker, the dudes I liked back in the day, just so I can have some variety of people that I'm familiar with, and not just like the random new wrestlers that
Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh man, freaking Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah. So for as far as wrestling goes, it's a quality freaking game, and no wonder it's so highly.
Have you seen Marty Jannetty's mullet yet?
I have not, but I will never forget that name, Marty.
Definitely got to unlock that stat. Maybe you should be able to unlock just his mullet.
Just mullet mode.
Standalone mullets should be achievable trophies in the game.
I agree. But yeah, man, that's kind of it. I mean, I'm also still playing Halo Infinite. I will say, for as much as this game has been maligned, and people still talk about like the Master Chief Collection being like the best Halo experience, like Halo Infinite with every season has just gotten better and better. They add more modes, more weapons, more like scenery. It's just gotten to the point where even where I took like a little bit of a break, I'm coming back and I'm like, yeah, I'm still back into this game. Like I thought, for me, it was always about the story and being able to play co-op campaign with my brother and things like that. But it's become much more of a like happy PvP experience for me. Cause I love competition. If I can like compete with somebody in anything, I'm going to do it, so being able to jump in there and really just kick ass and come away with like 20 kills and like 5 deaths is like, yes, I want some more of that. And there's, again, the scenery is so good. The backgrounds, the new environments they keep adding are so well done. I was playing the other day and I was just like, wow, I feel like this is the like coolest map I've seen them introduce yet. And I want to go into these new environments with my existing skill set and just wreck fools. And it's allowed me to do that. So I'll continue to play Halo Infinite as long as they continue to add cool stuff.
I'm sure you're not alone in that. Well, I appreciate your showmanship, Jay, to have not brought it up to this point and to leave everyone on the edge of their seats. But the real question that needs to be answered in this segment is, have you played ESO?
I have not.
Okay.
Woo. No more ESO. I'm telling you, man, it's uninstalled. I've even looked from time to time because I still see people on my friends list playing it regularly, and I'm still in the Discord with my prior guild, and they're always looking for people to jump in and do like the brand newest trial. And part of me was like, I kind of want to jump in and just like do this new trial just to do it. But then
what do? Just go take a cold shower or what?
I remembered that I canceled my ESO Plus subscription and I'm not resubscribing to that. That was kind of the helpful bridge. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that again. It's not worth me playing. Like, I'm not going to play the game with that level of frequency anymore. Like I could presumably jump in and do it, but I think I would either have to have bought the newest chapter to play that trial or be subscribed to ESL Plus. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll let you guys take it from here.
So, just to clarify what you're saying there, so it's two different models, or you don't need a subscription and to buy these things.
No, so you can. So if you have the ESO Plus subscription, it basically gives you like
just all the new
inventory
shit.
space and all that stuff that you need, just ongoing. Which, like, if you're going to play the game, you kind of need that. Otherwise, you're going to get annoyed with your inventory situation pretty damn quick. But also, as a subscriber to ESO Plus, you get all the newest. You get all of the regular updates and DLCs, and but separately, you can just buy the newest chapter Necrom. You could just buy it on its own and just play it without being subscribed to ESO Plus.
With other people. Interesting.
I mean, you could obviously you could buy Necrom and play it by yourself, and have the new zone and whatever else, and not have to deal with other people. But I mean, it's an MMO, so people are going to be there, and if you want to complete a trial, you still got to have 11 other people. So. I realized that kind of complicated the matter, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna go play some Wild Hearts instead, or one of these other awesome games I have. Too many hot stuff coming out, man. Like Exo Primal was just released this week. I pre-installed it, but I haven't played it yet because I haven't had time. That's probably what I'm going to do this afternoon.
Pre-installed.
Yeah, I don't usually do that with games that are coming, but like that one, had to do it. It's got like
so hold on.
Characters.
We're talking about. Yeah, I assume you have to pre-order it as well to facilitate.
Well, no, this was on Game Pass. Like you know, I'm talking Game Pass first, so I don't need to pre-order it. Just install it.
So it lets you download and take up your hard drive space, but the game isn't actually playable yet
until it releases.
Okay, and this is for the release, or this is the game that's already out that they're just going to is getting licensed to Game Pass post-release?
No, it's day and date, so it was just released and at the same time on the Game Pass. But like beforehand, like they were hyping it up, you know, a couple weeks ago, and I saw trailers for it, and I was like, this looks great. I will pre-install it because
I mean, I guess it's good because, you know, fuck who cares, and two, like, you know, if you're excited, you don't want to wait for the fucking those things take forever. So I get that, but it is funny.
Well, I used to be like a space hoarder, so I would just leave all my games because I just wanted to be able to see all the games in one place at all times. And I realized I can just reinstall them if I need to. So I just uninstalled stuff I'm no longer playing to actually free up space on my I like to have the library there at all times at any point. And then I realized, am I really playing Destiny 2 again? Like, am I really going to keep playing it? Probably not. That's 150 gigs done right there.
I am just as thorough and minimalistic with my digital real estate as I am with my physical real estate. I am very good at throw that the fuck away. And it makes me feel good to do so.
Lots of games, lots of jamming. What about you?
I haven't really. It occurred to me last night as I was downloading something new that I have not played a ton. A little bit of that coin game stuff. I found. I told you I'm still finding stuff in that game, which it's just not a big enough world, seemingly, for that to be the case. But I found an entire old school style shopping mall across the street from the carnival. Huge discovery. Nice. And there's obviously
we talking strip mall? We talking like
internal mall
Eastland kind of thing? Okay.
No, like downtown Columbus Center
like
mall.
City Center type.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
City Center, yeah, sorry. There's obviously an Aladdin's Castle knockoff in there.
Yes.
There's a food court. They even have stores that I haven't been able to find anything to do in yet. There's like a Foot Locker knockoff where you just go in and there's like a dude trying on sneakers and shit, and there's a candy store. They have, dude, I can't believe this was there. They had, and it's literally just, you're just throwing money away. At least I think, there's no, which I love about this, that there's no like tutorials that you click on. Yeah, it's just like, you just try shit, and then it's like being a kid. You just try shit, and sometimes it doesn't do anything for your life that's good. So, but they have, just out in the hallways, they have a few of those, what do you call it? It's like a funnel that you drop the money in, and it just spins forever before it goes down the hole. Like they're usually like a charity thing, and I think that's how it's staged, but there's no like karma points. Yeah, there's no karma points or anything, at least that I found. So you're literally just, it takes forever too for the fucking coin to go down too. So I was just like watching it like, man, something better happen, and then nope, nothing happens. Just very, again, but I think that very much captures what it's like to be a child. And it's like, you see something, no one's around to tell you not to do the stupid thing, and you do it, so you just do it on your own accord, and then you just sit there and pay the penalty. Yeah, just really fucking. So yeah, a lot of cool shit in there. That's pretty fun. And yeah, I'm periodically dropping in to just when I want some of that action. When some of that action strikes my fancy, I'll pop in and play a day or two of that. All the game, same thing, just like the claw machine and the claw machine, the quarter game, and the quarter pushing thing, and the skee ball, dude. I just like can't get enough. I found other arcades and shit, and I've tried a bunch of the games, and they're just, none of them are as good as those three things in the first arcade that is closest to where you start in like your kind of your baby nut arcade. I did find also the putt-putt. I think I hadn't found that last time. The putt-putt's actually pretty good, dude. I mean, it's not fucking great, but it's not certainly like, it's not like a walkabout, but it's for a putt-putt game in a much bigger game as just like a again, there's not even any. It's just something you spend money on. You don't even get tickets or like. There's no. It does not advance your anything. It's just something to go do. It's actually pretty fucking good. Same thing. I tried the go-karts too. Same thing. Like, just doesn't do anything for your game or like your progress. If you even want to say there is any in the game, yeah, it's just something to do. And there's actually competitors, and it keeps the times and shit. It gives you something to be competitive about. And it's certainly not easy to control those fucking things. But yeah, interesting that there's just so much world to that game that doesn't really seem to have true purpose unless you say the purpose is just to exist there. Which I think maybe is the intent.
Sounds like it to me. It sounds like it's just immersing you more in that world. Like, hey, you can do stuff. It's just going to be for fun. So you're not going to get anything else out of it. Just like life.
Yeah, it's just like wild game. Such a cool creative thing. Very commendable endeavor for that developer. I finished my Willow Kill Quest that I had begun before the last episode. The end run of it's a little bit of stupid runaround on fetch quests that you don't even. There's like they're fetch quests. You're assigned them, and then at the end of them, you don't actually get to fetch the thing that you're questing for. It's kind of just like a red herring quest. So it's like a lot of that shit towards the end that I could have done without probably. That I think just slowed down what the actual narrative through line was. It's kind of just busy work, which is not uncommon for NES games, I suppose. But other than that, it's a pretty all-in, solid game that I think I can see why there's a broad nostalgic fueled affinity for it. It's a pretty good adventure game for the time. Again, we're talking 1989, so rather early in the system. So that was cool and fun. And then the only other thing I really have to talk about, I actually have not played a single moment of Demio or Walkabout, which is funny. It's on the ESO topic there. They have a new one dropping, though, I think on the 20th, so I'll probably jump back in this week. But
a new Walkabout or
a new Walkabout course. Yeah, I think it's another. What the fuck was the gimmick to it? I think it's got a gimmick which doesn't have me overly excited about it. Something about lasers or something. That's like a. Yeah, I can't remember what exactly the pitch text was, but something to do with there's like a laser. It's like a laser tag. Arena or something. Yeah, I mean, the concept is interesting to me. I just hope the actual putt is still putt. Like we can have fun gimmicks in there, but don't make me do something dumb that it's again. I just always go back to that upside downtown, like cool gimmick, but I don't want to play that course at all.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
So I just hope the putt is still good. But yes, the thing I downloaded last night that I had been kicking around and thinking about is Pixel Rip 1978, which is behind me right now, and this is apparently a series I hadn't really heard of it until I saw this one coming out, and this one is highly aligned. They licensed Atari properties and stuff in it, so it's got. I haven't played an actual Atari game yet, but there's Atari shit everywhere in it, so I can see like you're actually playing an Atari controller. It's an Atari Heavy Sixer, the wood grain one that like is your dev kit. Like that's the whole thing. Yes, correct. Yeah, so like how do you even like describe? It's like a very creative kind of out there idea that's like this hybrid between. Like I guess technically you're a character. Like your character is, I think, a developer at Atari headquarters in 1983. I think is when it started.
So not 1978.
I think you go further back in time. There's time travels involved. So you start because the whole thing is you're chasing this digital presence back through time because the story starts in 1996, which I guess the last one was 1995. So the game starts in 1996, a year after the shit you had done for Pixel Rip 1995, and you're doing like the 1 year celebration of having done this thing. And it's pretty cool the way it gives you the epilogue or the prologue is kind of like you start in this house and like you're in a game and it looks like a 1996 like an SNES game that you're in. Like you're even holding kind of an SNES rip-off pad. You're on this tube TV with fucking rabbit ears. I posted the video of this on the thing, and you're explained the backstory in an NES game on the TV that you're just like walking by the things in, you know, so like the story cards or whatever. So just, you know, a pretty creative way to deliver that, I think. And then you finish that and you like have to walk outside your house, and it's like you're in a 1996-ish kind of open worldy game, and the characters look like a game sprite from that era. You're talking to people and shit, and you kind of learn a few mechanics, and then some shit fucking goes haywire, and you kind of jump into the real game, which transitions you from that, like, in a game world to, yes, a developer sitting in her desk, at her desk, in 1983, I think it is, and you have, like, a dev kit in front of you, and a 2600, and there's, like, a couple carts there, and some design documents laying on your desk, and, like, there's a game on your screen, like your 2600 TV and thing, that you're playing with a 2600 controller or joystick, and like people are walking in and talking to you. Characters are walking in, like your boss comes in, he's like bitching at you about something, and you gotta like you're trying to like do things on your screen in the game with the Atari joystick and deal with this fucking dickhead asking you for things, taking something out of the trash. So you're like doing you're like running multiple story tracks kind of. And then something happens in the game, and you get warped into the game, and then you get to a point that you can't beat without being in it, and you have the capability, or something incites catalyzes you to transporting into the 2600 game itself, and then you're in again. And honestly, the art style, you'll relate to this, reminds me a lot of Minecraft Dungeons, like kind of that blocky sprite stuff, you know. And you have like a ranged weapon, you have a melee weapon, and I was actually pretty impressed with how varied, and obviously you're in a 3D world, you know, it's VR, so I was kind of impressed with how varied, even in this first level, the enemies that I interacted with was, and how you had to use both the melee and the ranged cannon in combined ways to defeat these things, you know. So, pretty, you know, and like 4.6, I think, in the store. Like I said, it's a series, so they've done a few of these now. They kind of have it figured out, I think, and it's pretty fucking unique, man. Like,
I don't even know how to think about this. Like, it sounds so, like, I'm trying to picture what you're talking
about.
And,
you know, and that was the thing. That's why I had it wish listed. It's been out for at least a few weeks now, and like I kind of was like back and forth, like looking at it, like, I don't know, man. Like, that looks like kind of fucking all over the place, you know?
Yeah, it sounds all over the place.
Yeah, and theoretically it is, and there are certainly moments of like, it does a good job too, though, of baby, you know, fucking holding your hand, I think. I usually am against that, but I think this, again, because there's so many mechanics and so many different ways to interact with the game and whatever formats to the gameplay that it requires it, but I think it's still done well and tactfully, the hand holding to help you get acclimated to the things you need to do. Like, you know, when your boss first comes in, he's bitching you, trying to get you to hand something out of the trash, like, and you're trying to play the game instead, it's like overwhelming, and it's like he just kind of stands there and like, in a good, well-rooted narrative way, is like an annoying boss. Like, you get like, you're in a fucking, you can't keep fucking playing. Like, I know you have, like, we gave you this task, but I need you to do this, please, you know? So, like, it gave you the opportunity to get acclimated in a well-rooted way, I think, even. So, yeah, I mean, $24.99, too, which is not, you know, considering it's Atari licensed. I know Atari's not, like, the most valuable IP in the universe right now, but still, I kind of expected getting into it. I think that was almost a detractor to me, honestly, that it was only $24.99. It was this Atari 50 license thing, and I was like, for that amount, it's got to be a little half-assed or something, you know? And I mean, I only played in, you know, I was playing it pretty late last night, and I didn't get too far, but it certainly seemed fucking very polished and well done, and I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, all the reviews for it are fucking aces. So, yeah, pretty fucking cool. I think, and I mean, you know, if I can easily see myself, like, if this holds up and I don't get soured by something along the way, when I finish this, I'll buy 1995 in a heartbeat.
Okay.
So they might have established themselves a long-time customer here with this story. So yeah, very cool. Highly recommend. I posted a few videos of it last night. You can kind of check out the gameplay. It's pretty wild and well priced.
Stage 1 theme with no introduction, bringing us into our introduction of this amazing game.
Amazing. Just laying it out there right from the jump, huh?
Just doing it.
Okay. Somebody's wrecking New York City, or maybe it's a whole gang. Wherever you go, hooligans jump out and knock you down. Can you imagine the Noid? For instance, try strolling on the wharf and get flapped by a fish, or go skateboarding in Central Park. You'll get shredded by dive bombers, and with loonies everywhere, what a time for a brownout in the Bronx. This is what the Noid is up against, and more. In fact, it looks like his duplicate Mr. Green is causing all the antics. That's double trouble. But the Noid's got plenty of ammo, supernatural powers, incredible inventions, and a whiz-bang yo-yo. He just needs a pizza every now and then to get him going.
Same Noid, same.
Yeah. Vibing with the Noid's whole fucking deal, huh? Well, what kind of game do we have to participate in to help the Noid out here?
This is a classic side-scrolling action platformer, the kind that we love from the late 80s and early 90s.
It is like and of course we'll get into we'll expound upon this concept, but if I guess you have to take out the fact that it's Noid and we have these pre-existing things about that brand and IP and what have you. But if you took that out and just replaced it with just about anything else, it is like the most well, that's not true because of the pizza eating contest. But the actual platforming parts of it are just I don't know. And it's not horrible, but it's just the quintessential. It is just so archetype of exactly that yes, this era's action platformer. It's just it's like a fucking design school, the thing they'll hand you on the first day to get as the first example of what you'll be learning here at this course.
Yes, and we'll talk about why, spoiler, very soon. Yes.
Okay. Well, it was released in November of 1990 after a surprisingly specific March 16 release in Japan. And I was shocked to find that it even came out in Japan. I wouldn't have guessed Domino's had a Japanese presence, but incorrect, idiot American exceptionalist. So operations in Japan began on September 30th, 1985. And fun fact about that, via Domino's.com, there was not even a Japanese word for pepperoni at the time. So they had to introduce that word. It's one of those, I don't know, it's always hilarious.
What are we eating here, guys? What is
right.
this?
Well, but it's also an opportunity for, I don't know, I don't love it actually, it kind of bugs me, but it is interesting to me, I suppose, that when you listen to someone speak another language and there's just that American word just comes slapping you in the face in the middle of shit you otherwise have no idea what they're saying. And it's just that is exactly what happened there. So you have a fully Japanese sentence, the pepperoni. It's what the fuck, man? Yes. There's got to be some sort of meat stick fucking word that we could use instead of pepperoni for this thing. But as of the 35th anniversary in 2020, it was the largest pizza chain in the country. So doing okay over in East Asia. Back to the video game, dear listener, it would get a U.S. arcade release in 1991 via the PlayChoice 10 machines, which I also found to be rather surprising that they chose this for that machine. That's usually, I don't know. I guess they, if you go through and look at the lineage, there is a lot of variance there. But yeah, I just never would have guessed this game would have made the cut for that.
It's a different time, Josh. Different time, man. I'm telling you.
I guess
for a rental,
The artwork, the cover art, the red Noid is bouncing across steel I-beams suspended high in the Manhattan skyline via the Pizza Crusher, and the green Noid is giving chase one foot close behind. Is that right? Is giving chase 1 foot close behind? No, that's not a sentence, right? It's giving chase near close behind. So the red Noid has his attack yo-yo garishly deployed, tied to his index finger, sticking up in the air. They really drive home the NYC-ness too, I would say. You can see Lady Liberty, the Empire State Building, even the lesser-loved Chrysler Building in the background. You don't get that depicted in kind of whatever fantasy
Pop
depictions
culture.
of NYC.
Yeah.
Yes, right. That is definitely like an extreme second fiddle to the Empire State Building.
Oh yeah, they can't have any confusion out there with what we're talking about.
That's
like,
true. That's yeah.
I mean, one building in New York, one building,
right? But I guess that's to the credit of this artwork that it is so well done that they are highly distinguishable, and I could discern that. So yeah, I mean that's part of the thing. If you have shitty, that's probably why it didn't happen as much. Because if you have shitty artwork or god awful pixel art, even clearly, then the ability to differentiate those two becomes much more difficult. They both have like a steeple building top. It's not terribly different unless you can get colors involved and shit. So the title treatment up top is very interesting. It is a very interesting creative choice. It feels very 90s. Some hard geometric shapes behind all capital letters. Kind of yuck color choices that make it feel like a municipal street sign vibe to me. I would say those shapes in the back. On the topic of the title, I had never registered that the syntax of this title was yo exclamation Noid as opposed to yo Noid exclamation. So
I always forget
Noid.
when I think about it. Yeah,
right, yeah. It's fucking yo Noid.
It's because you're yelling at the Noid because he's stealing your pizza in the commercial.
Right, exactly.
Like, yo!
Stealing or smashing or whatever it might be. Which is
It's on brand.
Yeah, it's fun marketing as far as marketing goes. Anyways, they have a stripe in the lower left touting a $1 coupon towards the Noid's favorite pizza, and I'm guessing that's Domino's, but perhaps we'll have a dramatic twist as we go through the multi-layered narrative of this hero's journey and discover he's a Little Caesars guy.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts. The back is a standard 3-screen shotter. Up top, we have a headline below Yo! Noid that reads, or how a yo-yo saved New York. New York. Noid, yoik. All the explainer copy below is also unique from the manual writing, so good on Capcom for that. The manual is 18 pages, color cover, and black and white innards. After a page of basics on controlling your Noid on page 7, they dedicate the next 2, titled Playing the Game, to explain how you can improve your offensive capabilities as you buzz through the stages. And I'm interested to hear your summation of this. They explain here that there are scrolls to be found up in the air of 2 sizes, and if you get enough small ones to build up sufficient power and a large one with a magical symbol, you can then cast these spells at pranksters, which is how they describe it. They have really fun names for brigands, pranksters in the manual here, so they do some pretty good flowery copy. So these scrolls, man, like I think I only found 2 types, and they were exactly the same. As far as like how they were in, like the at least the visualization. There's the snowflake one that's clearly ice, but it just made shit blow up. Whatever's on the screen blow up. Same as the whatever that other one was. I don't even know what to call that fucking little symbol. That I was found.
The jumping one, the one that you jump super high and super long. You had that one. How did you even get through? Like, how did you even get? So you
don't mean the pizza crusher, do you?
No, I mean the one that gives you super jump. It's like a black and white one with like I think it maybe even had a dash symbol. Like you get that one, and you can jump way farther and higher.
I never once did that.
Skipped over that one.
Maybe.
Wow, it's very helpful.
I didn't need it either.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm curious to hear because to me, those ended up being incredibly oversimplified and other than like when I would run into something and I'm just dying over and over and over again, I'm just like, fuck, just kill that thing. Other than that, like these were meaningless to me, so they didn't have a ton of purpose. And I guess, I had enough ammo where I could have used them more often, I guess, and made my trek through easier, but it's not hard enough to warrant doing that in most places, so. They also explain you get 3 chances per round as opposed to lives, and these are automatically replenished at the start of each new round, so that's a very forgiving thing. I think there is an allotted amount of time to complete each round, though, so, running out of time expends one of your chances. And, I don't think I ever had it happen to me, but there were a few times where I was watching the counter and kind of thinking like, ooh, this might actually become a problem in this level. So,
Same. It never actually happened, but there was a couple times I was like, oh, I need to.
A little pressure there. Yeah, and honestly, that's probably how timers should feel. It should feel like I'm incentivized to go, but it's not actually fucking ruining my experience. I think that's good implementation, I would say. Page 10 is titled Sidewalks of New York, and there's a fun blurb here I'll read. The Noid romps all around New York, chasing after the mysterious Noid lookalike who's behind all the shenanigans. Across the wharf, through Central Park, and up to the rooftops, the Noid takes off after the brigands. There you go with that word. If he survives the brownout in the Bronx, the Noid must take to the skies against air pirates. But all the time, he's got to fend off the playful ruffians, again, who would love to see him tumble. There's plenty of land, water, and air action if the Noid can stay on his feet. So that's good. Good copywriting. And that's, there's no level breakdown in the manual. So as we go through these levels, I realized that I'm just guessing at what some of these places are. And it led to some pretty fun summations for the purposes of my note-taking that, we usually get like a very explicit in-story delivery of these level names that it was funny.
Level 3, the mainframe area. Like, you think you're in a different part of the city. Well, here we go. Like,
right. Yeah, at first, this list here is what I was going by, and I was like, okay, I guess maybe, are we in the wharf still? Are we on Central Park now with rooftops, with different rooftops? So yeah, at first I was like the Brown on the Bronx. I don't, whatever. I wasn't able to differentiate or match these up very well. Page 11 has Incredible Inventions, or an Incredible Inventions breakdown, and these are machines you can get around on. Each has a great little illustration showing the Noid using it. We have the Hyperboard, and this is described as zip past those other dudes on this four-wheeled speedster. It's just a skateboard, basically. And there's the Pizza Crusher. Mamma mia, what a way to go, across the rooftops on the biggest, bounciest pizza masher ever built. This is the pogo stick with a heavy weight on the end that was often seen in the television commercials. I only got this once. Did you get this more than once?
I'm pretty sure I got it probably once too, yeah. I think I only got it once as well.
That kind of sucked. I expected that to be like a
bigger
part of this
I
game.
definitely saw another scroll with it, but I didn't get it. I was like, I'm not just getting that.
Okay.
So I could have gotten more than once. I just didn't opt to use it.
I definitely never knew it as a scroll opportunity either. So interesting. And then lastly, there is the Ornithopter, I think. Frolic like a bird in this pigeon chaser. And it reminds me of a Go-Go Gadget copter. A one-man shell. Yeah, it comes out of his head.
Totally, just popping out, yeah.
Might as well get to the chopper as well.
Get to the chopper!
Also explained on 11 is the pizza contest. And holy fuck, this. Okay, so after an odd-numbered round, the Noid competes in a pizza-eating duel. This is to power him up. And I read that, and I expected this would be a fun mini-game that was like merely...
just for fun. Give you extra power. Yeah.
Just for fun. Supplementary to the action platforming game I was about to play.
Wrong.
Incorrect. Fucking correct, yeah. And there should be an expo... Well, I don't know. I guess it's... No, I mean, there was a learning curve. There should have been another page dedicated to this for sure. And there honestly probably should have been a tips and tactics part for just that, as opposed to...
I originally forgot how important these were, and so I'm like spending a lot of time like strategizing, and I was like, I probably spent way too much time on this minigame. It says it's not even important. And then I realized later, no, I should be spending more time like strategizing what to do.
And you should, I would say, you don't know it. I mean, I kind of was like, maybe I should be more conservative with these early ones.
Yes.
And you should. You absolutely should. And I did not do that. And that colored my experience of this video game. Page 12 does have Noid tips. And the first three are the usual get good stuff, but the last one is highly specific. And that reads, there's a special bonus area hidden in the ice skating area. Jump high and wide to find it. And let me jot that down in my official Nintendo Power map and data book, which I don't have, and that's why I didn't remember, and that's why I didn't actually do that when I played that stage.
Same. I remembered it from reading the thing, but I was like, wait, which stage was that on? But I was already past, and I was like, all right, never mind, forget it.
Yeah, no, I We'll save it, I suppose. After the warranty jargon and a Rescue Rangers ad, you get that $1 off coupon for Domino's Pizza they tease on the box. And I was going to print it up and get me some Domino's, but then I noticed it expired on December 31st, 1992.
Same.
I
was like, can we use this? No,
right.
Too bad.
Yeah, no dice. Fun fine print thing here. Our drivers are not penalized for late deliveries. It says in the fine print here. And that's the kind of thing that only gets cooked up by legal after, and only after, you get roasted in the press for something. And I'm sure early in the pizza is free if it takes more than 30 minutes era, franchise owners were jumping in deliveries drivers shit about it being late, which we will get into in our next little segment here. A great deal more to discuss about the Domino's brand, I suppose, and some of their corporate policies. So, before I get into that component of notable history, tell us about the video game notable history.
Oh, man.
And Game Genie codes that didn't make me feel like I was cheating.
On that note, didn't even consider using a Game Genie code, so there are none. Like, I'm sure there might be some out there. I didn't even consider using a Game Genie.
I thought about firing some up for the ladder pizza eating contest, but I didn't actually do it.
Interesting. I would have felt like I was cheating. I would have totally felt like I was cheating with that. I just figured I needed. Yeah, we'll get to it, but I just feel like I needed to go back, redo a level, and get some more stuff. Yeah. Otherwise, like, where's the challenge? So no Game Genie codes on this side. History-wise, though, very interesting what you were saying earlier about this being an early platformer, a prototype, and that kind of thing. So you talked about not having like, hey, is there Domino? I'm surprised there was Domino's Pizza in Japan. This was not released as Yo Noid in Japan. If you're watching on the screen, if you're watching live, you can see behind me. This is the artwork to the actual game that was released in Japan. It was called Kamen no Ninja Hanamaru, and obviously it was developed by Now Production, published by Capcom for the NES. But this was the Japanese version, and both games were built off of what was called the Wagonland engine, and so it's spelled WAGAN. And so you look at this, it's like a 1989 Famicom game. And so there's a very specific engine that they were built off of. But they just cranked out action platformers off of it? Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like this hilarious. Was like an early skeleton. But this Kamen no Ninja game, this is the Japanese version. Instead of having, since it was not Yo Noid, instead of throwing a yo-yo, he had like a hawk that went after the ruffians. But otherwise, the playstyle is essentially the same.
Okay.
But it was when they localized it in the United States, then it was used to promote Yo Noid and change to like, hey, let's bring in the Noid. But everything else is essentially the same.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I noticed, and that's, I clocked that it wasn't developed by Capcom, and that's kind of Capcom is a developer as well, and most of their games, at least to my knowledge, tend to be also developed in-house. Mega Man, DuckTales, Little Nemo, those are all Capcom. And it's funny to me because like there's a distinct difference in quality of this game and those games, so it was, I thought it very interesting that they didn't develop it. And that had me looking up. Did you look up some of Now Production shit at all? Did you?
No, I didn't even look at those.
They've been around forever, dude, since 1982. Their first thing was Miss Pac-Man. And they've developed just about every port of it since. So they have controlled the development of the Miss Pac-Man IP for 30 years, 40 years. So that's pretty interesting. They have a few other games that of this era that were interesting to me. They did the Splatterhouse games, which are big on my radar for the Genesis series they have. That started on Famicom, did not make it to NES because of how it's like gory, a very bloody, gory deal, right? So it didn't really localize to the States until Genesis or Sega. I think there is one on Master System, actually. But yeah, so they do have a little bit of a history, so it's not like there's some fly-by-night bullshit publisher. But yeah, I was very surprised to see. Yeah, I didn't know that story right there, so that's awesome to hear. My presumption was that Domino's reached out to someone, probably not Capcom initially, like, hey, we want to fucking pay someone to make this game. And they probably reached out to Nintendo directly, and Nintendo's like, nah, we don't fucking do that. But we,
talk to our people.
Exactly, yeah. We have a few third-party license companies that, do great work. Capcom's one of them. And they probably reached out to Capcom, and Capcom's like, we also don't fucking do that. But you know what? If you pay us enough money, we'll figure it out. And
And they did that here because I mean this was instead of the pizza eating contest, there's like a card based system in Hanamaru.
So it still had that. Yeah, that's so interesting. So are you saying
like the skeleton of a different game?
So that skeleton, every one of those games out of that engine included that card game shit of some kind or another.
Well, I don't know about every game. I just know that they were both no, it did say both games use the modified engine from Wagonland and share the same gameplay. So no life meter, using a life as soon as you make contact. You got the timer, and again,
but I'd be so curious. Yeah, I'd be so curious whether that engine inherently had a card game boss battle instead of.
I don't
like that's such a huge thing that.
I don't think so because there's the Wagonland game, which I did look up. They have bosses at the end of stages. No, it is. But the boss, instead of fighting him, is a mini game. So it still had that
yeah, and it's not
do a mini game kind of a thing.
And I totally buy that because gambling and gambling in games was a big thing in Japan then, totally fucking part of the zeitgeist. So I can see that selling so much more easily there as just being a staple. So that's super fucking interesting. Okay, word.
Yeah, man. But they changed it all for that almighty domino dollar in the United States, and here we go.
Okay. Any other game history?
No, that's really the most interesting there that I found.
For sure, that's a doozy.
I mean, obviously we know there was a Noid 2 released at some point. Never heard it, never saw it, because the original game was still it was widely popular. You know what I mean? This is a game that my mom rented it. I definitely got far because I enjoyed it. Completely forgot about the pizza eating contest. So clearly I didn't beat it. Didn't get to that point where I was like, darn it, this sucks. But I definitely had to give it back at the end.
I'm sure I saw it, and it's Capcom. So and it's a fucking it's Capcom, and it's a licensed IP. So even if it is only an advertisement of one. I'm sure it was around, but I never sparked it. We never, at least that I can recall, ever rented it, played it, whatever. And it wasn't a game that you saw laying around at kids' houses. I feel, it was not a copy of Castlevania or anything. So, yeah, I didn't have any experience with it at all. Okay, well, so there are a couple of things that are outside. I actually do have an economic analysis time. I'm pretty excited and proud about that. So we'll get to that in a moment. But two things I wanted to bring up before we got to that. The Noid ad campaign gained notoriety in '89. It's a big thing. And Domino's claims that they're unrelated of why they got rid of the 30-minute guarantee, or the Noid character, rather. But a man named Kenneth Lamar Noid, believing the mascot to be an imitation of him, clearly not well-to-do mentally, held 2 Domino's employees hostage in Chamblee, Georgia for, I think it was 5 hours or something. And he eventually made them give him a pizza. And while he was eating the pizza, the 2 employees escaped. So that's how the crisis ended, because he had to eat a pizza.
From the place, the Noid clearly needed a pizza recharge.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah, right. It's just, it's like you feel that's the saying that it's why those fucking Netflix documentaries do so well and shit, and the podcast true crime stuff, because human beings aren't capable of making up shit as good as real life. It's better. It's more creative. The shit that actually happens in real life is way more creative in so many cases than anything a human mind can cook up, or most human minds, anyways. So yeah, just unbelievable. So yeah, fucking even more of a bummer than that. 6 years later, he was, of course, diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and acquitted due to insanity. So he was in an asylum, and he ended up committing suicide in '95. So.
That's unfortunate.
Pretty fucking wild. And yeah, Domino's swears up and down had nothing to do with discontinuing the Noid. And, maybe to validate that, they eventually did bring it back as a half-assed modern mascot. Here he is again. I mean, the companies will do that shit after shit cools off. So I don't know, hard to say whether that's exactly lines up with what they're claiming. But so that's an interesting thing about this. And you mentioned Noid 2. I thought I saw that, and then I found this that I'm about to talk about, and I'm not sure if they're the same thing or not. Is there an officially licensed Noid 2?
I don't know that it's officially licensed, because I saw a note about it, and I was like, what? Was that a real thing?
Okay.
it was released online as freeware.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that's what I thought. All right, so great. So yeah, so there's not an officially
A
licensed
fan-made sequel.
Right.
It was a fan-made
So
sequel.
dude, I looked this up. Wow, dude. Wow. So it's I would call it gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, modern-er 3D platformer in the Noid universe. And yeah, I found this and fired it up, and
Oh, you found it? Oh.
yes, it's easily acquired. It's so fucking cool. I mean, sometimes there's just so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it, and my heart is just gonna cave in, Jay. It's so fucking beautiful. So yeah, so it's called Yo Noid 2: Enter the Void. And it was developed as part of a community game jam, which I never even heard that phrase.
Nice.
I love that phrase. It sounds fantastic. So it's taking aspects of the lore from Domino's pizza commercials featuring the Noid, as well as the original Yo Noid on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The team behind the game managed to craft something unique and fun to play, which has a great sense of humor. I believe that's their copy. And from the description of a video by a YouTube channel called The Glass Stream that interviewed the developers as they played through it. Yeah, so that was his description of it, actually. And the link to that will be in the show notes, that video review, and there's gameplay video as well, too, if you don't want to take the time to acquire this. But I highly recommend you do, because you can download the game at maybe my favorite URL ever, which is noid.pizza. HTTP ://noid.pizza. Super easy to remember. And the site, dude, is incredible. It feels very GeoCities Angel Fire.
Oh, really?
Mid to late 90s personal homepage vibes, you know? So I think that's totally appropriate.
Turns into a pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cursor changes to a pizza slice GIF when you mouse over links and shit. It is just so 1996 GeoCities. It's incredible. So that's really cool, just to fucking acquire it. You get the game. And it's a standalone download, so you download the fucking thing, and it's one of those, it's so, contained and old that you don't even need to install it. It's just downloads as like an executable exe and accompanying files. So you fire it up, man, and it's got like Mario 64 vibes, I would say. Like, it feels, the play is like that same kind of early 3D standalone camera kind of thing, so yeah, the gameplay is good and looks pretty good, especially if you're just mentally comparing it to the first Noid. But it's also got whenever they made this, I actually don't know when precisely that was, so I don't know how much of this is a retro choice or just a necessity of the technology. But the opening has a really grainy originals 90s FMV cinematic, and incredible music, sound effects, all great. But like, the opening cinematic is like, it's live action. They, I assume, had to have filmed it to do this. Like, a guy in like a half-ass Noid
interest.
Yeah, it's got like a half-ass. Yeah, just to watch the video of this, it's worth. Even if you don't want to take the time to play it, but I mean, automatically, like, it's actually pretty good. It's built in Unity, early Unity, and I assume, okay. And it automatically mapped to my controller. Like, it's not clunky as fuck at all, in my opinion. So well done game. And yeah, I mean, that reviewer just talked. They was actually interviewing the developers, like I said, and like fucking really emphatic about it feels good to play this game, and it is well done, and there's actually some length to it, and like, it's not just like a fucking tech demo or something. It's a real game. And yeah, the trimmings are fucking great with that FMV and shit. Yeah, highly recommend. Okay. Highly recommend. Okay. And like I said, just to go to the URL, pizza.fucking-noid, or Noid. What is it? Noid.pizza? Noid.pizza. Yeah, so good. So good.
Can't forget that one.
Right? Yeah. So that's fun. And then, yes, I have done the first economic analysis in quite some time, and this was a fun one, so I'm glad it came to me to do so. So the core principle of this, or the core analysis, rather, will be the value of a free pizza not delivered in 30 minutes or less in 1990 versus 2023. And it's going to come with a really fun Domino's 30-minute guarantee history lesson that I think is really interesting pop culture shit that most of our age will remember, like, trimmings of, like just vague components of, but the entirety of it is a very interesting story, I think, if business shit is at all of interest to you. Anyways, I suppose this isn't for everyone, but neither is this fucking podcast. So this segment is sponsored by your local mom and pop pizza chain that wants big business pizza franchises to die in a ditch. So Domino's first introduced their 30 minutes or it's free offer in 1979. And at this time, the franchise's store location count was 287. So it was an established franchise.
Wow.
Yes. So they've been around for a while.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah. So, established business and introducing this in 79. By 1989, so in a decade from that data point, they had over 5,000 stores. So this offer is attributed with the core of their corporate growth. Like, this is what caused them to become what we know Domino's to be today. Okay. And the guarantee became such a thing that there were reports / urban legends of people, it was just and that's why it grew the company like it did, because it was like this guarantee was in the zeitgeist, and like all pizza places had to deal with this, not just Domino's. If you weren't offering this, yeah, exactly right. It's just like that's such a thing, right? So yeah, there were urban legends and like maybe also true reports of people turning off their porch lights, like maybe trying to skirt the system, turning off their porch lights and not answering the door until the pizza was late to cash in on this. So like you can just imagine the number of cheap motherfuckers that were trying to game this system. I just saw a movie recently where this, like a slight play on this concept was in it.
Ninja Turtles? Because in the original Ninja Turtles movie, like they have a Domino's pizza guy delivered to him, and like they pop up from the sewer, and he's like, "All right, thanks, dude. You're late." And he's like, "Oh, come give me a chance. I couldn't find the place." He's
exactly.
Like, sorry, like Confucius says, like forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. I still remember that line to this day.
That's incredible. You remember verbatim like that. That's really good, Jay. I didn't remember that, but I buy it based on everything I'm about to lay out here. That again, just in the fucking zeitgeist, dude, and like just, how many marketing campaigns? I mean, Pepsi versus Coke, that was a thing that I would say reached this status. There's only a handful of marketing campaigns that became like the Pizza Point Top Gun thing that they did a whole documentary on, which is actually a pretty good watch. I highly recommend, speaking of Netflix documentaries. So yeah, there's just not a lot of marketing things that were so good that they caught fire like this, especially before catching fire and being viral was possible in the way that it is now, so just super interesting. So this guarantee was not all unicorns and rainbows for the company, though, as it attracted attention of reports of delivery drivers driving recklessly and getting in a lot of accidents to the point of killing people, Jay. So by 1989, there was on record 20 fatalities resulting from collisions involving Domino's drivers. Eek, dude. Like a decade, 20 deaths off this fucking, that can be concretely attributed to it, that the driver, it's drivers getting in accidents, so pretty fucking wild.
I'm sure at that time, people, like at least now, if you have something like that where your pizza is going to be free or something like that would happen, you're still going to tip your driver. Like, all right, maybe it's not your fault, I'm going to tip you. But I bet back then, like those pizza delivery drivers knew, like if I don't get this pizza, I'm not getting a dime. They're not going to tip me. They're just going to like open the door and take my pizza and dip.
Yeah, and that's there's so many layers to the intricacy of this, because you can and we'll get into like some of the policy changes and stuff, but like yeah, man, when it comes down to it, like I don't care what protections you try to put in place or how much you try to alleviate or put in policies, especially from the corporate level, how that transfers down to the actual store level, unpredictable and probably not at all what is conceived in the boardroom at HQ, just not, it just doesn't transfer the same way. Because ultimately the numbers, overall performance numbers are going to drive decisions from corporate down. I don't give a shit what they implemented that was like safety protocol wise. You better still hit your numbers, motherfucker, or we're going to replace you. So that's just the way it works, So yeah, there's only so much you can do to mitigate the danger of this kind of thing. But anyways, as it goes in America, when people start dying in ways that can be attributed to the machinations of the corporate pursuit of profit, motherfuckers busted out their litigation sticks and started whooping ass. So countless lawsuits were filed, and plenty were surely settled, but the real doozy was a 1989 incident where one Gene Kinder of St. Louis, Missouri, was hit by a driver and then took them to the fucking cleaners, dude. So it required 4 years of lawyering around, but eventually a jury sided with Gene and awarded her $750K in actual damages and $78 million in punitive damages. Ooh. And do you know the difference between those two things, Jay?
Yes, I do. That's
actual damages
crazy.
And punitive damage, yeah. I took a law course in business school too, so I had some vague idea, but it still required a little bit of a reminder, and certainly I doubt everyone knows this, but actual damages are those awarded to actually compensate the victim for the loss. So this is clearly medical costs, lost work, like things that were physically taken them in the perception of the court. You can
easily calculate them.
Right.
Like, you lost out on this.
Right, precisely. Punitive damages have little to do with the defendant and are awarded as a way of smacking someone on the fucking nose real hard for shitting on the carpet. So, hoping that such large, extravagant numbers will dissuade them from doing it yet again. And so, yes, so this is what eventually led to the demise of this guarantee. I think they had already changed it from I want to say, was it 83, 87? Yeah, 87 was when they scaled it back from being a free pizza to just a $3 off rebate. But still monetary and still calculable in an aggregate and can be attributed to store location performance and, in turn, owner profit, yada, yada, yada. So, still incentive to get the shit there on time, for sure, albeit not as much. But the public perception was that, yes, drivers had to pay for tardy pizza losses. That's what everyone assumed, which, incentivized them to drive like fucking NASCAR drivers. It's like what was the assumption. But Domino's was adamant that drivers were not monetarily penalized ever. And that pizza, and I love this. This is hilarious to me, dude. It's so corporate. So they assured the public in some sort of public statement that any pizza leaving a store at the 25-minute mark or later was automatically marked as late internally, which, yes, thank God, because who the fuck's going to get anything once it's walking out of the store, even if the driver is like...
Unless you're going across the street.
Right, exactly. Unless the driver is literally like, or rather, even if the driver is in like, say they like start at the back of the store at minute 24 and is running full speed to grab that pizza and the car is parked right out front, it doesn't matter. They're still not getting there in 5 minutes. So yes, obviously at the 25-minute mark, yes, it has to be marked as late, you motherfuckers. Like, that's a given. Like, how delusional do you have to be to get up and like say that in public as like a defense of this perception? It's hilarious to me. It's so 80s corporate shit, just total out of touch, but the whatever policy you want to put in place, man, like, there's no way, like, I don't give a shit if that fucking driver shows back up and he's like, and like, there's no even like, then, or rather now they can computerize it. They can show the driver would have like a tracker, a GPS tracker, or their phone would have a GPS tracker in it, or an app, a driver app that can see where they're at all times. They'd have proof to either refute or, just have to accept that a pizza was late, whatever it would be. There'd be ways to, back then there isn't one. So like, yeah, like you said, people are doing all kinds of crazy shit. Like, there's just no way
going to the bathroom when the dude knocks at the door, just
right, like, yeah, like whatever, So there's just no way for the managers of the stores to believe, or it's going to be totally based on fucking pre-existing profiling of the driver's ability to do the job. Like, there's had to be so many bad days for drivers based on this shit. There just had to be so many, man. Fucking rough, dude.
I can only imagine. I mean, as you know, I deliver pizzas for Pizza Hut.
And I fucking forgot that! How have we not talked about that yet? Oh my God, talk to us about this. Yes,
so
oh God.
I was in my 1988 Beretta, my first Chevy Beretta, my first car.
Yes.
I drove like a maniac all the way. But I'm fearless at that time. It was just like how I was driving. I just got used to it.
Yeah, and all pizza delivery drivers, not all, but most pizza delivery drivers are, yes, like high school or college kids, man. So they're already inclined to be dangerous.
I'm already speeding, and like I know where all the speed limits are everywhere, so I'm going top speed everywhere I can, and like all that kind of stuff.
God.
So I can't even imagine. And clearly, I never had that pressure of like, hey, the pizza's going to be free regardless. So I can only imagine, like, even you take somebody like me at that time.
Can you recall, like,
job. Oh my
and
gosh.
I know, dude, Pizza Hut, I know you had to sit and watch a fucking video, a VHS tape about this, dude. I know you had to, motherfucker. Can you remember it?
I definitely don't. I definitely don't, because I started as in high school, I could only cook, until I was like 18 or whatever.
They wouldn't so they wouldn't let you. That's somewhat. So they wouldn't let minors drive. Okay.
I definitely don't think there was a new training when I became a driver. It was just like, hey, you want to make more money? You're 18, you got a car? Let's go. Time to drive.
How fucked up is it that the person that gets them to you is more important than the person that makes them?
Oh man. It was nuts. I can only imagine what it would have been like back in the day, and I would have hated it.
So rough. That's great. So, dude, so on that, I remember. So it wasn't my first job. Like I said, I worked at a grocery store it was a chain. It was a super value chain, but it was those are like individually ran. It was still mom and poppy. We didn't have like corporate training videos. And I worked at that job, and then I got a job at the Oberlin Inn again, standalone hotel, not corporate enough to have like a fucking training videos and shit. But the first job I remember having that happen, I got a job at Best Buy when I came home the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college. So I was still 18 because I was a late summer birthday. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I remember getting a job at Best Buy, and dude, it's like it's one of the many reasons also that I worked at Applebee's after this. But the movie Waiting, have you?
Oh yeah.
When they put him in that fucking office all alone to watch that video by himself, that's how it fucking was, dude. They put me in a closet with this, and it was on one of those fucking racks where it's like bungeed to the fucking rack because it's too top heavy to use this thing. Exactly. Like, why is it even on there then, you motherfuckers? If you have to bungee it to the fucking cart, with a fucking VCR, put the tape in the thing, hit play, walk out, close the door, you're in there alone, And it was exactly like that, dude. And like, I wish I could remember you can probably Google that. They probably. I was able to find the fucking like Babbage's or whatever it was training videos when I was looking up those. When I found that weird playlist of game store videos, promos and shit. So this probably is out there too. A 99 training video for Best Buy probably exists on YouTube, And dude, it was, so bad. So bad. Just that direct to camera telling you about all the dumb policies and shit that are in the book they're going to hand you when you walk out of here. Just, so bad, dude. And yes, the one for pizza drivers was probably hysterical. Dude, so fucking good.
The number of stories of different people that I've delivered to, oh my gosh. I had one woman like show up at the door in like some sheer see-through thing in German Village. German Village was a spot to deliver to because the people had money and they were going to tip you well. And I was just kind of like I delivered to a woman once who like she wanted to like take pictures of me for her calendar and like wanted to go out for drinks.
Did you do it, Jay?
Absolutely not. I definitely met her for drinks once, but she was weird. And I was like, this is weird. I've had much more stories that I could share, but I won't in this forum. But it is freaking wild.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, that's like, it's obviously that's why they make pornos like that. It's like the dream. So it's cool to hear that it's possible.
I did not say
I didn't say you acted on it either, Jay. I simply said that it's cool that the possibility did really exist and it's not just myth.
It's definitely there.
all I'm fucking purporting here. So yeah, all really very, very fun. So yeah, that 93 lawsuit was the nail in the coffin as far as this policy goes. The company did away with the program shortly thereafter. So most of this data was via a ranker.com article that is a pretty interesting read. A link to that will be in the show notes if you want to see some more numbers on this shit. So that's all very fun history. Let's do a wee bit of math now. I started looking around for Domino's prices in 1990, and instead, the first thing I found was the pizza that gets delivered to Kevin in the first Home Alone cost him $12. So, fuck real factual numbers. That is our data point. The cumulative rate of inflation from 1990 to 2023 is 2,972%, making that same pizza cost $30.72. And I don't ever eat pizza. I'm a make my own pizza at home kind of guy, but yeah, $30 before tip even is enough to make me consider cutting out the light and pretending to not be home to try to get it for free. I get the incentive to do that. That's totally buy that. So for funsies also, a little extra math, let's also see how much Jean's legal award is worth in present day dollars, which cumulatively $78.75 million was what she was awarded between the actual and punitive damages, and that brought forward from 93 to 2003 would be $165.7 million bucks. Which
your children's children for a good
and like
life.
it's like, so we read about the fatalities. Clearly, if Jean was the one that was hit, which is I believe how it was described, she did not die. So $165 million bucks has you wondering, like, how much am I willing to endure physically for $165 million bucks? And it's like, I don't know.
But
man. if I, if you obviously, no, I'm not going to become a para or quadriplegic. I'm not going to lose limb, clearly life for that number.
But you never know how much.
Right? No, yeah. I'm not saying you can calculably execute this yourself. I'm not even beginning to imply that. I'm simply saying just the thought exercise. Like, how much would I be like? I'd sit in a fucking hospital bed for 3 months probably with some broken up legs or something if I could walk afterwards for $165 million.
Maybe it was just a broken leg or something. Sure, but otherwise, like, I don't want even the possibility to like. Something messed up internally.
Again, I'm not suggesting that this is something that you can execute. I'm not saying it's a realistic execution of a plan. I'm simply saying the thought exercise of what would I do for that is an interesting thought exercise. Avoid the Noid! That is the Stage 11 theme, bringing us into the gameplay of Yo Noid by Capcom on the Nintendo Entertainment System, or By Now Productions, released by Capcom on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And first we get a title screen that's pretty basic, just a quick fade-in of the Noid looking real zany over top the street sign collage title treatment. Plenty of copyright legalese down below. For being Capcom, I would say this title screen tune sucks shit through a tube, though, and I can't believe you chose this as one of our to be a spoiler. If you don't like having your Imperial Schools of Honor podcast game music needle drops spoiled, I apologize. But one is coming up, and I can't believe you chose this one.
It's because it's nostalgic for me, and it sticks in my head.
Okay,
when I hear that,
it definitely sticks in your fucking head. Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah, that's a nostalgic play. I will take the blame for that 100%.
Okay, fair. I have my own, I'm sure. A 3-card slideshow setting up the story will fire up if you let it, and they misspell mayor here, M-A-Y-E-R, if you like language gaffes in old video games. And then back to the title screen for a moment before a no music demo starts. So, there's nothing to do, no 2-player, no stage select, no fucking noise or sound test, no nothing. It's just get to the game. And I would say, again, kind of just goes back to, there's just very bare bones. I think throughout it has a very, very minimalistic feel as far as like gameplay bells and whistles go, you know?
For sure.
The controls are equally as simple. A jumps, and it does give you a higher jump the longer you hold it down, which is good as far as game control goes on the NES. I would say it feels a little on the floaty side. Certainly not my favorite jump physics ever, but it's fine. And B fires off a shoot the moon yo-yo attack, and this can be performed in midair as well. How was your yo-yo game when you were a kid, Jay?
Terrible. I mean, I definitely, when I got my hands on a yo-yo, I definitely screwed around with it for a while and never became that dude who could just like easily yo-yo it up. It would be something I would do, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, try to get it going. And after a while, I was like, fuck, all right, never mind. I'm going to go play video games.
This fucking sucks, yeah. I definitely recall having one at my grandparents' house when I was rather little and working at it a little, but never being much right at home about it either, or at it either, rather. And, it's funny. I have like this, I remember it's green. I remember the little basket it sat in the kitchen with this little tiny toy basket that was on a bottom shelf on like the kitchen counter island. I remember all this, and I can distinctly remember looking at it, and it was it was probably my fucking dad's yo-yo, or it was like an old yo-yo even for the mid 80s. And I remember looking at it, and it was a string. It was just some normal ass string tied around like inside. It wasn't tied to like an eye hole or anything. It was just tied in a knot around the cylinder in the middle. So it didn't actually have.
But I feel like they were all like that. Like
the older ones were. Newer ones, I think, are tied to a specific spot, which again, I can't explain exactly why I feel this way. I can't explain the physics of why, but like I feel like that has to make. Maybe they can't be though, because if they spin at the end like that, I think that's what allows them to spin at the end. Is that it's not tied to something.
I never understood it. I just figured like either I'm doing something wrong or this is just fake and it's only like in TV commercials.
Yeah, I mean,
this kind of stuff. Like,
right,
I
precisely,
can never get it
yeah.
to fly and do the things that you see on movies. So,
Right, yeah, but I have the memory of looking at it and how it was
you found
tied.
a secret and like the older
No,
ones
I'm
were
saying
not
I
like
remember
that.
looking at it and believing it impossible for that reason. Like, like again, like in the same way I can't describe it now, 37 years later or whatever. I certainly couldn't explain it then. But to me, it just seemed like it's got to be. What the fuck? It's just gonna spin. Like, of course it doesn't work. I remember looking at it and like being like, what the fuck is wrong with this invention? Like, like questioning the existence of them at age 5 even, So yeah, that's my childhood recall of fucking yo-yos. Well, a shoot the moon trick is a looping yo-yo move where you basically extend the yo-yo to the end of the string up or out in the air as opposed to down towards the ground, which looks like you're defying gravity. And the yo-yo trick shot guru video I watched at yoyotricks.com claims this is one of the tougher yo-yo moves. So suffice it to say, Noid is legit when it comes to yo-yo proficiency. And I would agree. I can't even get to go down at all. I can't imagine making it go up and fucking do that. That's crazy. It's fuck to me. It does seem.
Let
It
alone
seems like
hitting
magic.
ruffians whenever you want.
Right. Yeah. Taking out brigands with them seems extra fucking difficult. The hitbox and deployment physics on this are also a no complaint situation. I would say it's not like I don't feel like it was bullshit. He has I like his animation too when he does it. He has like a mean mug that he does as he extends it, and I enjoyed that. Start pauses. Select is not mapped, so they have a fucking button they could have used for something. They didn't bother to. Your Noid has a fun little idle animation too, and this is not something that was particularly present at the time, so I applaud them for this as well. He'll like fiddle with his yo-yo kind of impatiently if you just stand in place for a few seconds, which the first one of these I can even remember really being a thing was Sonic. Where he would lay down or tap his foot or whatever. This
is definitely much earlier than that.
Right, yeah. This is fucking plus NES too.
I didn't even really clock that.
Yeah. Not bad. So stage 1 is the wharf, I think. And yeah, as I mentioned, I'm kind of spitballing these level descriptions. That progression is a paragraph. I'm not entirely sure where to match them up here, but the wharf certainly makes a lot of sense for this. You're on docks that auto-scroll up and down, and there's industrial-ish buildings in the background, and enemies are fish jumping up from the water below, seagulls careening at your head, and dock workers bum-rushing you with fishing spears. And maybe it's recency bias, just because we just did the fucking game app on it, but Super Mario 3 was what I thought of immediately. The rising and falling of the platform is very Mario 3 Water Worlds, so... Having that in the very first level, I was like, fuck, where's this game going, Like, how bad is this going to get? This is where we start, because that's like one of the more difficult mechanics, I would say, in Mario 3.
I would agree with that, because I do remember thinking this game as a kid was like difficult. Like, it was fun, but I remember thinking like it was a little difficult, you know what I mean? So obviously things are different now, much more skilled, I would say now. But at the time, I was like, oh, okay. It's a little tough.
I can buy that. And this vertical scroll too, yeah, I mean, I think there was some thread about it on the Facebook page, but I was like, there's the thing with the way this rising and falling scrolling shit works that had me like on some Dino Ricky shit right from the beginning.
You thought it was amazing and awesome? I too
dude,
thought it was awesome.
I thought you had fucked us real hard, because the vertical scrolling of the dock plate, like parts of the platform or the ground go below the water line, so you can just die from that, which is, how you should implement this mechanic, I suppose. But I was dying
when it was a little bit above the water?
Right, because you don't stand on there's like 3 rows of boards, or 3 layers of boards, and the top 2 don't matter. You're standing on the bottom one, so... Of those 3, I mean. So when that goes beneath the water, and it is pixel perfect, when that row, once I like fucking put my eye on the fucking screen, I was like, okay, fine, but that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I died several times of that. Like, what the hell, man? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very irritated about that when I first got going. So I came across plenty of scrolls here, big and small. So I'm like, okay, that's accurate. Shooting the big ones would open them up, as the manual said. And I saw 2 kinds of insignias inside. Yes, a snowflake and a no fucking clue what the other one was. It was, I don't know, like it maybe kind of Pizza Crusher-ish, but I definitely didn't get a Pizza Crusher in this level. So I don't think I was picking them up. I think so. I feel like it just did the same thing. I'm pretty sure I tried it.
I actually don't remember that one now. Like, I remember seeing it for sure. But I know that I like the snowflake so much more, so I was like, I'm just going to get that one.
Definitely do the same thing, man. That's fucking because this first stage, I'm of course like really fence testing, like trying everything out and like loading to make sure I try everything, So yeah, I tried both of them 100%, and they seem to do the exact same shit. And it just like turns the dock worker that I used it on just spontaneously implodes into a little cartoon dust ball you get when you kill anything else. So yeah, I mean the animation's not really different. I think the screen maybe flashes, but other than that, there's not much of a visual differentiation to shit just dying anyways. I also saw 2 icons on squares, an exclamation and a Roman numeral 2, and I had no idea what these were because it changed nothing on the screen counter-wise or whatever when I picked them up. So I was like, what the fuck, man? But you realize later these are for the pizza eating contest. And when you get to the end of this level, you run off screen right unceremoniously, and then it cuts to a screen dominated by some solid pixel art of a nondescript pizza shop storefront. And your red Noid is below it on the left, and another pink one is on the right, identical otherwise. And you each have a number of empty circles behind your characters. And your Noid has 10, and there are 18 for the pink one, and that is the count for every opposing Noid. And the way they ramp the difficulties of these up over time is to increase the number you have to accumulate before you win, right?
Yep.
So there is a dialogue box between your 2 sprites that will just say shit and kind of tell you what's happening. And the copy when you first get in here reads, "Welcome to the pizza eating contest." And then a game starts that I spent a lot of time trying to formulate how to describe this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it is a card matching game or a card game of some kind, that is for certain. And ultimately I was able to easily discern that I'm trying to eat more pizzas than the other Noid on a particular turn. Like that clearly is communicated. The margin by which you do so fills up those circles behind your sprite and vice versa. So if you play a 3 card after, and they always go first, it says like the
area champion.
The area champion, always. Yeah, always, right. So they get to go first, so I don't know.
It's
I guess
a card strategy game, so you have to kind of plan your strategy around. If they're going to throw a 3, do I go higher? Do I just
right and
pause?
like
how much do I have left to beat him by?
Right. Yeah, I feel
very involved, more involved than I remembered.
Way more than I expected. Yeah, and a part of me says like it annoyed me that they got to go first every time, but I don't think there's a game if you don't. I guess you know what I mean, because obviously it's just randomly picking things. There's no strategy to its selection
on their side. Yeah,
right.
It's completely random.
So yes, the cards each have a certain number of pizzas on them. I wrote down here 1 to 5, but it gets higher than that later. You'll find and yeah, they go first, and you don't. The interesting thing about it, and this was critical and such. Thank God this way. Otherwise, these would have been even more mundane, I think. But you don't lose accumulated points. So each turn only adds to one of your meters, and this is where the strategy really comes in. And it's also time too, and that's a critical thing too, because you don't have a lot of time. It is a very, I think, imposing timer. And if you run out of time, you just lose the whole match. It's very punitive, so you don't want to dick around. However, whatever the margin is, it gets added to that Noid's pizza count. And yeah, you really have to, I don't know, how do you explain the strategy? Like you have to look at the inventory they have of cards, and everyone can see everyone's cards, they're all turned face up, and you have to gauge how many you can let them get, because there's no like intermediary win, unless actually if one of you runs out of cards, and I had the computer run out of cards once, and you just win because they ran out of cards. So I guess that's a twofold thing about the accumulating the bonus cards that we'll get to. If you play enough of those, and you can last long enough and strategize well enough, they'll just run out of cards and you automatically win because they ran out. So that's interesting in of itself, I suppose, and kind of like an ulterior strategy that's a little bit even more high concept than anything you could do otherwise. But yeah, you have to like gauge how many bigger plays they have left and decide whether you want to, like, there's enough room left in their pizza inventory to do I want to play a 1 here and let them get 4 pizzas when they're playing this 5? Or do I need to use one of my higher cards to mitigate the number of pizzas they're going to get this time? Or do I want to burn one of my, you have specialty cards, you have the 2 Roman numeral doubles whatever card you play, the 3 triples it, which is fucking dope. I never even got one of those.
You never got one?
Not that I can recall, which...
How did you even beat the game? We got to talk about that.
Well, we are going to talk about that, Jay. So you have those 2, and those are rather straightforward. And then you also have what amounts to just like it cancels the other turn. There's a pepper shaker and a hot sauce bottle, I guess. And if you play either one of those, the other Noid just like gags on spicy shit or it's too hot and they don't get whatever card they played. So yeah, there's it's pretty fucking complex, I think, and like commendably so. And yeah, my initial impression when I went to this was like, oh, what the fuck is this shit, But I found myself kind of enjoying them, never looking forward to them. And I think, in hindsight, just no, every other level, fuck off. Like, no way did there need to be this many of them, or should there have been this many of them. And later on, in particular, the way they ramp up and the way... Yeah, like the method by which this gets more difficult sucks. Like, it's interesting enough when it's achievable, but when it becomes a matter of just having bonus cards and you not being able to truly just strategize your way to a win, which is where it gets at the end, I think these really, really fucking suck.
See, I have the opposite feeling, though.
Okay.
I thought, because the first half of these, I was able to, even though I put probably more thought than I needed to into winning them, and I didn't even clock that you get to keep the bonus
right.
cards
Until
like
that sucks too. Right.
Through,
again, that's a perfect example of something that should be in the fucking manual. That
should be in the manual.
These stack and you hold them for more than this just level that you accumulated them in, or the 2 levels, I guess, that you accumulated them in.
But at first, I didn't even realize that they were a thing. So like, I had no problem defeating this guy the first couple times. All right, this is cool. Yeah. Like, no problem. And then when I kind of came across one of these guys later on, and I'm like, I paused it. Like, when looking at his side of the screen, I was like, he only has 1-1.
This fucking is impossible, yeah.
I was looking at, like, I don't have enough cards to beat it. So I lost several times and just replayed the stage again. It was at that point that the stages became much more important, because before, to your point, as a platformer, like, if you're great at platforming...
Did I just not lose early at all? Do you always go back to the stage if you lose? Even the first one?
I didn't lose.
Right, well, so yeah, you won't know that. Yeah, but...
So it was probably like halfway through until I finally lost, and I was like, oh, I got to go back. And then I realized, I got to like throw my yo-yo, and I would accidentally get a couple.
Right,
and I was
you
like,
can find, yeah.
I got to keep swinging around.
That's worth mentioning.
And spend more time in the stage rather than kind of just platforming to get through, which is what I did for the first half of this game. I'm like flying through platforming, like, all right, this is good, no problem. And then when I needed those extra cards, it was like, okay, that's why I'm finishing these stages with like 60 seconds remaining, because I didn't spend enough time like
looking around,
swinging and looking around to try to get these cards,
which doubly fucks you because, and I'm curious, I'm not going to bring it up until you do, just to see and add dramatic weight to this, I suppose. But there's 2 reasons not exploring fucks you long term, and yeah, there's just there's no way to know you should be doing that. I guess there's that ice rink thing in the manual, but man, that's awfully small,
It was a total accidental thing. I don't know if it was like stage 5, 6, or what stage, because it's every 2 that you face a boss. I don't remember what point it got to, but I kind of just looked up at the corner, because I remembered previously, just making up numbers, that I had like, say, 4 number 2s, and I used 2 of them, and I didn't get any like since then. Right. And then on the next one, I was like, wait, I only have 2 left. Are these carrying over? Yeah. And that's when I realized
that's precisely how I found it as well. And yeah, it was not something that, which is, if you think about it, because they're every other stage. So obviously it's not the ones you got in this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess not obviously, but probably, maybe, you know, like, because you do get them in the even stages too, I guess, is the tip off. Yeah. Maybe that, you know, that you get them in stages where you don't have a pizza eating contest at the end, so you should maybe think of this. So, you know, there's some level of suggestion, but yeah, it should be more explicit, either between the manual or even just fucking a blurb or something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so that.
Where's our NES strategy guide? Give me some tips. I expect in the coming Nintendo Powers, somebody's got to have a head. I'm gonna have to look out for it now. Somebody's gonna have to have a tip about like, hey, this is how you do this in Noid. You know, somebody's got to call in and ask like, what the hell is going on here? Since it's clearly not laid out.
Do you think we've already seen one and we just didn't fucking stand out?
I don't think so. Yeah, but we'll see. Now I gotta find out.
Yeah, I'm tempted to go back through and check and see what the fuck. I feel like this game can't. Like, but again, just like the Play Choice 10 thing, like I can't fathom that it would get like a lot of coverage in Nintendo Power, you know. You know, I think especially if you look at it like from a really practical standpoint, like there had to be some level from Nintendo's perspective, the editorial team, of like, we can only give each developer so much shine. Like even the really good ones, there's got to be some level of parity. We can't really fucking fixate, even if everything they put out is heat. And Capcom is in that tier, of course, but there's still of the spectrum of Capcom things, this is, I mean, probably the shit. And like, I'm not going to say it's a horrific game, but it's easily Capcom's shittiest game to date. What's worse?
I mean, when you put it like that, I don't know if I'd use the word shitty, but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
I'll probably agree. This is definitely, it's not DuckTales. It's not
Mega Man. It's not Little Nemo. It's not any, yeah. It's not even like, even that, you know, weird, wacky, the RPG, like even that, I was like, fuck, that's great, even though I never heard of it. Like, yeah, everything they make is fucking fire at this time. So, yeah, it's just of all the shine or things you could give or would give Capcom shine about it, this is not on the fucking list, you know what I mean, comparatively. So, I just don't know how much it could be covered, you know. But yeah, I would be curious to hear what people bitch about at the time, because there are certainly enough opaque things in this that, you know, kind of like, I can see a little kid being like, what the, especially again, because there is such a glass ceiling, ram your head against a wall kind of aspect to the end of this game. Like, there's nothing worse than just like, is it like, the first time I loop, I'm like, am I just in the same stage again? No, I'm not just playing the stage again. There's no fucking way.
I'm like,
you know?
Darn it, that stage.
Yeah, so I could see a little kid being like, it's got to be broke. I got to write Nintendo. So I won this first one, of course, as I imagine most do, and he says, the opposing Noid says, arg, you beat me. But I wasn't, like, because it says in the manual, this is what I mean, I assumed that they weren't required, because in the manual it says they, like, give you some sort of power up.
You up. They're just power up your character.
Right.
How are you powering it up?
Precisely. I was not able to discern any calculable difference.
They were false on that one.
Right. I mean, that meter, we don't know how that meter is employed at the bottom. Can you actually, yeah, that's a good question. We talked about the HUD. We didn't even mention it. There's 2 meters. There's 2 rows of meters at the end. And yes, I understand that the scrolls make that go up.
But they're just for the use of those scrolls. So like if you destroy, it just reduces that meter and you can no longer.
But that's what I mean.
That's all it is.
Perhaps you would, there's no way to know the fucking math, but perhaps you could say or speculate that it's like the rings in Zelda. Like when you power up more, it uses less of your meter per spell cast or whatever. You know what I mean? You could argue, and that would be very hard to discern, I think. So like,
I was going to say that seems much more than what they've implemented here.
But we just talked about how opaque some of the things are, though. You know, like, I mean, it wouldn't blow my mind if that were the case. Okay, so neither one of us have any clue after playing the game. That's good. That's always great to have that takeaway after playing a video game. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I played the game. I have no idea how it works. On to stage 2, and I think Central Park is where we're at now. Central Park is second in the manual story settings rundown. So yeah, I guess that's what it is. The background of the skyline in the distance suggests maybe this could be in the middle of the city. And I get they're trying to sell this as an ice rink with the skate rental sign at the end. But I don't know, man. Is there? I don't even know. Is there? There's got to be, I suppose. Do you ice skate in Central Park? Yes, right?
Yeah, there's totally an ice skating rink in Central Park. 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume so. I never went. Ice skating makes my fucking ankles fall off. So it's fucking horrific for me. I've only been a handful of times. Actually, you know what? I did go once. That's dumb. They do it at Bryant Park.
Yeah, if they do it at Bryant, I've been to Bryant Park skating a lot more. Only Central Park like once or twice, but like Bryant Park many times.
Yeah, went on a date there.
It's nicer, more accessible, more central than everything else.
Despite the name of the other park.
Right.
So yeah, the skating rink means this is all ice too. Ugh. Have I ever told you how bullshit ice levels are in 8-bit video games, Jay? Have I ever mentioned that to you? And in the few number of podcasts we have recorded, have I ever brought that up?
Once or twice. I would say this one's not bad, though. Like, I did not...
Yeah, it's not...
I feel like I maybe died once, and that was for something stupid. Like, this was not a tough...
Even like the slide aspect of it, you had a little more control over, like, those little the platforms you had to jump on with it. Like, you could kind of catch yourself, and, like, it would still require, like, kind of the constant hitting to keep yourself from sliding off either side, but not in a way that was just, like, fucking train wreck out of control.
We've experienced much worse mechanics.
Mario, I would say Mario is much worse, in all honesty.
100%.
So there are falling ice boulders and hockey players that give me Beagle Boy vibes. Speaking of Capcom, DuckTales.
Total Beagle Boys.
Yeah. That you have to deal with.
Man. Yeah. Same universe.
Yeah, they have to deal with in between slipping and sliding all over the place. And then there are Beagle Boy stunt doubles that take like half a dozen yo-yo smashes to take down later on. And you'll also encounter some ice curling dudes later in the stage. And then
they look like the ice climbers from the NES game. Like,
have
you ever played?
Yeah, that's what they look the black like box title. Right. Yeah, and then there's just one sole hockey player at the end that looks more legit and less Beagle Boy-like as well. And yes, ice-covered platforms here, of course, if everything else being ice isn't enough for you. And there, it does say in the manual, but I was still kind of expecting a pizza eating contest at the end of this. So when I didn't get one, I was kind of like, oh, okay. So that was a little surprising to me. Stage 3 is the rooftops. And, if I'm on rooftops, the first thing I'm going to think is, hand me my skateboard. So what a fucking...
That's what you do.
Yeah, what a ridiculous mashup, design choice mashup there. Yeah, and there's an effort here to make you choose between... This will become a prominent thing, I'd say, in gameplay throughout. There's an effort here to make you choose between two tracks, high and low, through the stage, but it doesn't take long to learn that the lower track is how you maximize your scroll and pizza eating contest pickups. So even though I just talked shit about it, I would say I was kind of surprised that the skateboarding aspect does not fuck you nearly as bad as I thought it might. You can really slow yourself down and deal with platforming and as well as backtrack. So yeah, I
actually enjoyed it. Like you could land on people's heads. You know what I mean? It was kind of much easier. I didn't really need, like, I didn't care about not having the yo-yo at that point. It was like I can just stomp.
Right, and yeah, it does take your yo-yo attack away, so you have to jump on. I did get a little bit of friction here in that the landing and hitbox of jumping on things' heads doesn't make real physics sense to me because your skateboard is angled at a 45-degree angle. So in my mind, you should be able to come at them from the front a little bit. You cannot, though.
But no.
You have to land. You have to land perfectly on their head, and yeah, the animation does not jive with that. Not totally unlike that rising and falling platform animation. Some not the best QC'd design aspects.
I definitely died a couple times landing on someone's head, and I was like, so I was just not at the right angle, right spot.
That fucking sucks. So we have pelicans, unicyclists, flying football players with football bombs. I think those are maybe the strangest enemy we've seen so far. They're literally just like flying through the air and dropping footballs on people's heads. Pretty wild.
It's American. We got to Americanize this version.
I guess. Right. Just a reskinning of some other flying enemy, Yeah. They also throw some semi-wide gaps to jump towards the end, but this isn't really all that much, I would say, especially with the skateboard. That makes it pretty doable. And the football guys, interestingly, are invincible, though, at least as far as I could tell. And internalizing, this is probably the hardest thing about the stage, in my opinion, internalizing the need to just stay on the ground and scoot beneath them was one of the more difficult, internalization gameplay things for me, just to remember to do that, to not, you want to just attack everything, in a game like this, and that's not how you deal with these guys. Like, you still have to hit their footballs on the ground, but trying to deal with them other than just letting them fly by is a fool's errand. Yeah. So we are into another pizza eating contest of this one against a brown Noid, and he has the same 18 pizza requirement. Yours is now up to 12. And this is where I first like got a better handle on this. I had picked up the red pepper shaker, and I guess it's red pepper, maybe it's black pepper. I don't fucking know. It's
there's black pepper and there's the hot sauce. The hot sauce is the red one.
But like for pizza, I would assume this would be red pepper though, right?
It would make sense.
No one puts black pepper on their pizza.
But I think that's the whole point. Like he's throwing that like shaker at you, and you're all of a sudden. He might even say black pepper. No, I don't think he says black pepper. I think he just kind of says pepper.
Right. I mean, when I think of a pizza place, I think of the big with the
for sure.
They all must have came from the same factory at the same time in 1974 or something like that, and they've been in every pizza place ever since. It's got like that exact. It's the Parmesan cheese one and the red pepper one, the exact same ones. It's like got the raised bumpiness to it, you know. Mm-hmm. They're all the exact same fucking thing, and yeah, that's so interesting. It's like. I don't know, you could spend a whole fucking tangent on that. Like some of the like the 80s, there's those accounts, Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts and shit that will post shit from like 80s kitchens, and it is all the fucking same. You're like, yes, god damn it, we had that. How did everyone have that orange Tupperware pitcher? Everyone had that. How did everyone have that? Or those coffee cups, the little flowery things. Like everyone fucking had those. How did everyone have those?
Less variety, less options back then.
I guess, yeah.
One person
Sears.
One cool thing.
It was on the front fucking rack at Sears, and everyone bought it. And you weren't walking to the fucking back of the store to look for any alternative options. Yeah. So this is also where I learned that you could save things too. So that was a critical strategy thing. But again, and we'll get to more on it later. But I did not. There, it's too. It seems too easy, and there's so many of them. They don't feel precious, and they should. Yeah. They should feel more precious.
I was still flying through at this point. Like, all right, whoop this area champion. Next up.
Stage 4 is on to more rooftops, I guess. They are clearly in a more downtown part of the city here, though. Like financial district vibes, I felt. That American flag.
I felt like, yeah.
Right, exactly. Very prominently displayed, hanging off a building at the beginning to really drive that home. And here we have dudes with plungers, balloons slowly floating along that will fall on you if you run below them, which is an interesting way for helium-filled balloons. Or I guess... You can't guarantee that's helium.
This is like pizza crushers. I'm like, this is a pizza crusher. You beat like one of the first dudes and you get a pizza.
Yeah, you get your first pizza crusher here too. But there's the dudes with the plungers and shit as well.
Oh yeah, true.
And there's also those same like that goon is kind of in a lot of the stages, and he just has different tools and different attack modes. But there's also those same guys are here doing fire spitting shit as well. But yes, you get your first shot as far as I found at the Pizza Crusher here, and it's like there's some gray thing riding one. I'm looking at it right now. It's like a fireman, actually, is what he looks like. And you kill that, and it leaves the Pizza Crusher behind for you to grab, and it only lasts for a limited time. So it's interesting that the other vehicles are whole stage, like it changes the mechanics of this stage, you know? And this is just a temporary pickup in this stage. And... yeah, it only lasts for a limited time, and it's, let's say that's a decent chunk of time that you can get through that floating platform stretch as long as you're not dawdling too badly. But, I guess first, it's a pogo stick. I guess explain the mechanics first. And you don't just, this is hard to explain. Like you gotta like, in the same way, have you ever ridden a pogo stick in real life, Jay? I guess that's really the question to ask here.
When I was a kid, yeah, I definitely had one for a brief minute.
Well, clearly you have to let the spring constrict to get the pogo effect, Mm-hmm. And if you short hop that, you're not going to get the pogo effect. And if you were expecting to pogo a certain distance without that constricted spring, you're not going to go that far, but you're already going to be generating that forward inertia to do so. So this is dangerous. And that it captures that physics requirement very well here. You have to let that spring constrict before you hit the A button, or you will just go like a quarter inch and probably into a pit, So I thought that interesting that it did such a truthful and realistic job of capturing the physics of being on this kind of device, for better or worse, I guess. Like, it's kind of one of those things like, yes, that's real physics, but I don't know if I want that real physics here in this video game. Kind of
well,
situation.
That's why I didn't use the pogo stick much. Like, once I didn't even attempt Like, so after you get past that first part, there's like the floating platform stage that rotates.
Right.
I was definitely not on the pogo stick for that. I was on my normal feet, and that made this part a breeze. So are you saying you tried the pogo stick?
That was pretty smart, because, yeah, I mean, I would cruise through that. And so here's the thing, yeah. It doesn't, the real shit of this, on top of the physics thing, is that it goes away kind of unexpectedly. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you want to get yourself to a safe place maybe and just kind of let it die. And that is not, it's not only applicable to that. There's another thing that this problem will come up with later. So that was another QC fail, I think, on their behalf. Okay. So yeah, no pizza eating contest of this. Even stage. Level 5 is into the sewer. And I like to look down here quite a bit. It's got like green water, sewer type deal, dilapidated concrete platforms against the deep blue brick sewer infrastructure in the back with pipes and shit. And like the concrete has like parts where it's broken off and you can see the exposed brick beneath it. So
it's like the New York subway.
Right. For sure. But I think a little extra design effort was put here than some of the other stages. And I think this is my favorite music track. You have to ride some platforms floating in the sewage, like little fucking crates and stuff, and that can be a wee bit tricky, I would say. The pizza eating contest is against a blue-suited one, and you need 14 pizzas to prevail in this one, but it's still pretty easy. Stage 6 is into the marina, and great NYC skyline background here. I like the look of the boat dock platforms as well, and later in the stage, there is a solid-looking suspension bridge background artwork too, so some good Capcom artwork here, or I guess it's now Productions, but I perceived it as Capcom at the time. And they have a little paddle boat you can start riding early in the stage, and then they entice you to leave the easier path of just riding the boat floating in the water to travel across some higher platforms where scrolls and shit can be picked up. And even at points you have to. There's like, especially I think that first one you have to jump over, so it like forces you to understand that you can and maybe should be doing that, you know. But it certainly makes it more difficult. And the enemies.
I'll say this is actually one of the easier platforming. Like platforming in general in this game, I don't think was very tough. Like this boat stage, I actually very much enjoyed it because like you could, it was not hard to like jump on the boat, get it going, and then to go platform above it and just land in it when you're ready to keep moving. So yeah, I thought that was actually really smooth and really well done.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this stage as well. And then once you get to a bunch of boats tied to the docks later on, many of which say Noid on the side, which is fun, you find that the rich boat owners have installed pirate cannons all over the docks as a security measure to keep poor people probably, away from them. And it's also kind of like that first dock rising thing, a little SMB3 to me, this like cannonballs flying all over the place. It felt a little Bullet Bill stage-y, you know?
Totally felt like you were on the Bowser ship.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Stage 7, Coney Island was my guess here. So this is where I'm really beginning to take creative license with these discernings of levels. I love the carny background artwork here, though. That's like red, a lot of black shadows with orange accents on like the merry-go-round, the Ferris wheel outlines and stuff, silhouettes in the background, very cool. And then the foreground has a merry-go-round vibe. You're like riding a merry-go-round. And the shit about this is, though, it's an auto-scroll stage, which I don't believe we've had yet, and that certainly complicates your life here. There's a fucking in the mode of the merry-go-round stuff, you have the horses going up and down on poles that like, and there's a lot of this where like those are timed in a way where you have to know to be way ahead of the game and making your jump very early in their animation to get on top of them and get across, or to get beneath them while they're all the way up. And if you miss that one window, there's no hope. You know, there's a few instances like that in this level, which are kind of tough to me. You know, that you don't, unless it's one of those things, unless you know it beforehand and have died there already, probably you're just not gonna get it right. You know, so that.
Yeah. I died several times on this level, like especially when you get to a part where there's a spring over just death, basically. You jump make sure you hit A, bounce up on that spring enough to land on the rising pony. Like, I died several times.
Is that the first? Is this? I think this might be the first appearance of those springs, and they're just they're like the
just
like,
floating.
Yeah, they're just like fucking little springboards, and same thing. You got to like it's not as bad or as unforgiving as I would say as Super Mario Brothers 3 springboards, where you really have to have it fully constricted or you're fucked. But a little bit of that vibe is there for sure. There's also a weird, and I never saw this again, and it's just to me so bizarre that it's the only instance of it. And it's a hazard pickup. It was a skull on the ground, and it like moves above your head when you pick it up, and it's like in the water levels in Super Mario, the baby bloopers, they like get on you and restrict your movement while they're like orbiting you, So that applies here, and you can't jump and you can't run, and it's basically
the worst.
Especially with an auto scroll, you're fucked. So it's just like if you get that, it's load. But only time. So I'm glad to hear that was or not glad to hear, but I'm surprised to hear that maybe I just missed it or something. That's the only why. It's not even like it's not part. It doesn't go well with the theming. Merry-go-round, Coney Island, carnival shit. It doesn't have. It's not
like they could have made a different kind of
any kind of icon. Like there, sure, if you want to have something unique and standalone, I'm fine with that. But it just didn't seem like it made sense to me.
But it made it also clear, like, avoid the skull.
Well, I guess maybe that was them trying to do good QCing. Like, no, this needs to be distinctly avoid this. But honestly, it doesn't do that because it's the only time. So I still picked it up the first time. Like, what is this? Like there's
that's the point though, because also because this is an auto scroll. Like, if it wasn't an auto scroll level, you could kind of just maybe run around and wait for it to go away.
Right.
But here it's like, you're really screwed if you pick it up.
Right. The pizza eating contest is a 16 pizza count needed, and this was the first time that I also had I had enough bonus cards, but I either didn't play them right or have enough to win, but I played enough of them to extend the game, and he ran out of cards to play, so I won by default. Even though, and this is an important note about that, even though he had accumulated more pizzas than me up to that point, So, again, it's a very last-ditch effort strategy that, like, if you see yourself shit going sideways, you can be like, well, if I just start playing bigger cards and drag it out, maybe I can win that way, So it is
it was an accidental clocking for me, too. I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to lose this one. And then he ran out, and I was like, I can win that way, but it only happened this one time. Just this one time. Me too. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's funny too. This is right at basically the midpoint, and you get that like the pendulum is swinging, to the other side of it, and that's where it crosses the fulcrum, as far as the way the strategy goes for these things. After these messages, we'll be right back.
In the new movie, The Land Before Time, Littlefoot, Sarah, Ducky, and Spike share an incredible journey. Along the way, they become best friends.
Now we'll always be together.
And now these lovable characters can be your child's friends too. With a pizza from Pizza Hut, a Land Before Time dinosaur is only 99 cents. So come to Pizza Hut. Your friends are waiting.
We'll always be together. Pizza Hut!
That is a 1988 U.S. market TV spot for Pizza Hut featuring the Land Before Time puppets. Making it great.
How many of those did you have? I had several of those.
Yeah, I definitely had Littlefoot. I definitely had the green dinosaur. What was his name? Ducky, the sleepy one, yeah. He was the sleepy one, right?
Wait, the Brontosaurus. The sleepy one, what was his name?
The Brontosaurus.
I don't remember.
Ducky, though. I remember Ducky. Ducky was cute as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, those were fucking dope. I think there were 4 of them, I want to say. Yeah. Those movies. Great. Great movies. Don Bluth, man. Remember we were talking about Don Bluth? That's fucking Don Bluth movie. Don Bluth, fucking great. And, thought you were watching Disney movies, not Disney movies, actually better than Disney movies. All of his movies. The Fievel, the fucking Land Before Time, those are fucking great movies.
Classic.
I definitely wanted a competitor's commercial. Fuck Domino's. So Pizza Hut was my go-to for that, which had me first looking for a book it spot that I was unable to find. Okay. Yeah. No. I was able to find like a 2-minute promo for it that would have been, I don't know where the fuck that would have shown, but I couldn't find just like a straightforward commercial about it. Except a modern one. I guess they reinstituted. This is fun history, I guess. I can't believe it. Yeah, Craig Robinson was the fucking spokesperson for it, he's fucking hysterical. Love him. And yeah, he fucking, yeah, they did a modern one. Were your kids
My
on it?
My kids did it. Yeah.
Oh,
like either sometime within the past like 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2021, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Book it. Like I did that as a kid. Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah, smart branding recall for sure, man. Perfect time. Like you and I, like fucking. You got the kids. I probably should have them, and it's just like the perfect time. Like hook them, deploy. That shit's just been in the fucking chamber for like a decade, probably. That's great. So yeah, it's fine. I picked Pizza Hut. I didn't even think. I forgot that you delivered for them, or that would have obviously been part of that as well. But I'd let you pick it. If I'd have known that, I'd have had you pick your favorite Pizza Hut commercial. Land Before Time was a plenty acceptable alternative to the book situation. So we're moving into stage 8 and Sky. I don't know. This is it's the first Ornithopter, the helicopter vehicle. Jay, hit us with it.
Get to the chopper.
And keep this in the air. You have to repeatedly hit the A button. And neither the manual or the game itself informs you of this prior to the stage start, which led to me just plummeting to my doom and losing my first life right from the jump.
I did the same thing.
Holy shit, is that terrible game design? Holy shit!
Press a button, you're going down. Nope.
Yeah, I was just like, I just watched it happen. And I was like, is that like a cutscene? What the fuck? Nope, dead. Like, oh my god, just so bad.
Like nothing like it. Like stage.
Yeah, you need like it's like, and it's funny too because it's Capcom, and I know Capcom didn't fucking develop it, but Capcom for the Mega Man games does the get ready. You know, it like tells you to like, okay, shit's about to get real, and it puts the words on the screen. Get ready. It says that, you know, when you're starting stages and shit. So that's already in their fucking design toolbox. So yeah, just really bad game design. I couldn't believe that happened. Once you know that, though, this is a pretty nice change-up of the play mechanics, I would say. It's actually pretty fun. I'd equate the physics of this to water stages in Mario's 1 and 3. Again, I don't know, it's a lot of Mario fuel for me. Again, maybe recency bias, but I just thought of it a lot when I was playing this game, just like a slightly shittier version of it. You have a fixed amount of elevation your sprite does when you hit the A button, or increases, rather, when you hit the A button. So what you're doing here is trying to let yourself fall far enough to not hit things when you initiate that fixed elevation bump by hitting the button, you know? And you're always under a pressure to keep yourself from falling off the bottom of the screen too, or in most cases anyways. There's a no barrier situation on the bottom that you can fall down off of and die.
It's pretty well done though, I think. Like I didn't, you know, I didn't feel like it was tough to do. Like I felt like what I was trying to do as I hit my buttons, I would actually do. I would drop as far as I wanted to drop. Like I thought it was really well done control wise. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this, and I honestly was kind of sad that there wasn't more of them, and I have more sadness we'll discuss later on this topic. But yeah, it was pretty well done. I would agree. They complicated the big thing is just, again, this is like maybe think so much of like just that one really shitty water level that we talked a reasonable amount about for Mario 3, where you had to go through the little channel of the fucking electrodes and then the big berth at the end. It was very like that, where you have these fixed contact hazards everywhere, spiked balls, and plenty of flying shit to get in your way too. And yeah, I mean, you're just they also put in fans too, to like, so you're like slow you down, right? To make you think more about your physics. You know, it's all physics shit, and that's a cool change in gameplay from what otherwise is just kind of going and jumping on shit. Stage 9 is the crack house. This is a very grungy, dilapidated building that at first glance appeared to be harking to an industrial space. But there's fucked up couches and shit that I think used to make this an apartment building. And in this condition, it very much looked like a set from New Jack City. I would say the thug enemies here very much look like dudes that could be squatting in crack houses as well. So to me, this was just crack house. I didn't know what to think of this. I was just like, are we in a haunted place? Like, I didn't know what. Yeah, there are bats. There are bats, but there's also crack house rats on tweak mode. They're suspended from balloons, dropping rat skulls. And these sentient tin cans that leap at you when you near them. I guess I would equate that to maybe having something living in them, rats or something as well. That is one of the most annoying enemies on this whole stage. When I saw those, I was immediately. And I don't think you can kill them with your yo-yo even. So even if you get in the right place to do so, I don't think you can. Yeah, the only way to kill them is with a I actually, watching the playthrough, somebody did kill one with a yo-yo. I don't know
Did he?
how.
Okay.
They did like some perfectly timed jump. I did not execute that perfectly timed throw at the same time. So
they're keyed to you. So when you get close enough, they auto aggro. And I don't know how you do that, I guess. There's some platforming and timing hazards dropping from the ceiling that will bring you to the first vertical climb in the game. And I think I found a secret up here. And that was the first time that I did this. I jumped up to a couple platforms above the rooftop stretch to, like, once you get to the where you go up the shaft and then it levels out to this rooftop area. And there are these two platforms, like, there's no way to get to them coming from the left. You have to go right and jump back. And that automatically made them significant to me, and incentivized me to, like, maybe I should check what's going on up there. Because by now I've learned that you can make the little boxes appear. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up there and try that. And so, I jump up there, and I got this animation that I would imagine is supposed to be perceived as a warp thing. It's kind of like a twisty. Had you gotten one of these yet?
The only other one I saw, I didn't even find it on this level, was earlier on the skull level. There was one there.
You found one. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
that was the only other time I've actually got one of those.
This is the last one in the game, I think.
Okay.
Which sucks that I hadn't found one before this. They don't, again, they do lob you the fucking thing in the manual on the stage 2. But I hadn't found any of these. And, I don't know. Who knows? It was kind of, by this point, I was certainly like, another fucking platforming level. Okay, let's fucking go. So maybe there was some level of just like, fuck it, I'm cooking, and I'm not being as exploratory as I should be. But I feel like I should have found more of these just to show you that they are prominent in the game and worth.
But I think that was the thing. They were not prominent. They were very rare, it seems like. Like that's only the second one. The fact you're mentioning it, that means.
But there's way more.
I know about.
There's way more. I went because I found this and I was like, what the fuck is this? And we're gonna get into it here in a second. But I mean, was this something you were successful at? Perceived what you were supposed to do right away? Was this intuitive to you?
No.
Oh yeah, what the fuck, man? I played this a few times and I was like, what in the fuck is supposed to be happening here? Like, I was like not even close to. I was not happy about this experience. So I was like. I'm fucking looking up a video. I'm like, I need to see what the hell's going on. And I saw how many of there were. And this was like the 5th or 6th one at this point. So there's a bunch of them in the game. Yeah.
That's what happens when you just platform through,
right.
Like I did for the first.
And you don't have a whole 80-page strategy guide telling you where the warp whistles are. It's fucking harder.
Hey, adds to the replayability, though. Adds to the replayability.
It does that. So, yes, it cuts to a black screen, a mohawked thug, and this is awesome, hilarious art to me. Again, harken to the tweaker thing, I don't know if he's in every one of them. I assume he is. But it cuts to a black screen with a mohawked thug in purple leather Mad Max gear and sunglasses, center mass, and he's flanked by a couple sidekick thugs in purple leotards. And you get some dialogue copy here. It says, if you hit a lot of moles, I will teach you the shortest route. So that's the thing. He's telling you to hit moles. So I go into the stage thinking, okay, there's going to be moles. And it cuts from there to a whack-a-mole game. So that makes a lot of sense that I have to hit moles. Ton of fucking sense. So I am running around, not hitting all the other things popping out of these fucking holes, trying to hit the fucking moles. And there's only a few moles that I have the opportunity to hit. And it's making a noise when you hit them that doesn't sound good. So like I'm doing it and I'm like, I'm doing what he said, but nothing visually supportive is happening. I'm hearing this terrible sound. I must be, this. It's not, and I'm clearly not winning because you come out of the game and he says, what does he say? There's fucking, you can do better than that. Come back again. So I'm like, what the fuck? I luckily had saved, so I'm able to go back and try again. I tried a bunch of, handful of times, and fucking same thing every time. So I watched that video, and so it's a grid of 3 rows of 4 holes each, taking up the whole, like a whole single screen. And in the holes, eyes will appear, suggesting something's about to pop out. Now, not every time. These can be red herrings that attract you to like go up there and hit something, and nothing pops out. So there's that aspect of it too. And then when they do pop out, it's not always for the same length of time. So it really amounts to a memorization thing. You have to learn to do these successfully, in my perception, at least looking at the video. And granted, this is the last one, the hardest one. So I'm sure if you get your feet wet on earlier ones, this is less of a problem. Were you able to successfully get it at all?
I just realized we were talking about two different things. I was talking about what I ran into that was an invincibility thing. I never encountered this one time in the game. Not one time.
Okay.
Not one time. It was only when I was going through later and I was like, I missed that completely. Yeah, I never saw it.
Right. So yeah, they were not easy to find for sure. So yeah, like I said, I lucked into this one. So yeah, I played this a bunch of times, dude. And like I didn't, again, lack of explanation. If God forbid you actually do stumble into one of these on OG hardware and you can't fucking save scum, like holy shit, should there be more? You should have an idea. You should be able to pause and like, okay, how the fuck do I do these? Not present in the manual at all. And the screen wraps. So you can like go off screen left and come screen right, like Pac-Man-y kind of, So that makes it easier, of course, once I knew that and saw that in the video. And you also don't have to, like, the assumption is the way the art looks, again, this is another, much like the fucking platforming water thing. Like, the way they come out of the hole, they're like saddled up to, it's kind of like semi-angled, almost isometric-y, 3/4 perspective, I guess is what they call that more aptly. And they're like bellied up to the front of the hole. So it looks like you'd have to walk up to it from the bottom and hit them there to make contact with this tiny little mallet you have. So it didn't occur to me that maybe I could come at them from the side and like you can run. You don't even have to, and you can turn any direction. You have 360 degrees of movement, relatively anyways, probably eight directional anyways. And you can come at the front of the hole from the side and do it and hit them. So you don't have to run up to the hole and then turn up to the hole and then do it. You can just run at it from the side and hit them and still get a hit in. So those two things made it infinitely more doable, but still not easy. And there's like there's a meter at the bottom that I saw when I would, again, when I'm first coming in here, I have no idea. There's the goons, like the sidekick guys that appear on the sides of them, the purple dudes, those come up. The Mohawk guy will sometimes come up. A mole will sometimes come up, very seldomly. Like I would say maybe there's 2 or 3 of those in the whole run. And tons of the purple dudes and maybe 4 or 5 of the main Mohawk guy things come up. And then there's also was this one time it happened, there's a McDonald's Grimace looking thing, like a big purple Grimace looking dude that pops up. And like when you hit him, you are able to discern it's bad. Like you like are stunned for a second, So if you do that,
don't hit Grimace.
Don't hit Grimace. Yeah, it fucks you. You're totally fucked. You might as well just hit low. There's no chance you're beating this. So you definitely want to avoid him. And yeah, I mean, I basically had to play it enough to memorize at least sequences where I could get good rhythm and not hit the Grimace guy or not waste. I don't think it penalized me to hit the moles, but it didn't move your meter up. And yeah, I played a number of times before I even realized there's a little tiny red arrow above a part on that the meter can get to that is like where you got to get to win. But I played a number of times before I even noticed that. So I didn't even know what my goal was, and I wasn't able, you do kind of eventually notice that the meter's going up when I'm hitting the other guys, but that directly contradicts, again, what he tells you going into this. So it's like a fucking Simon's Quest deception. He's like trying to tell you to do the wrong thing as like a...
Interesting.
To fucking...
Throw you off?
Throw you... Yeah, right, yeah. Fucked up, man. Like, really fucked up. Really
These damn
fucked up.
ruffians.
And I don't know what I got when I won. Just like the pizza
so you
eating
didn't
contest.
Get like a fast
Oh no, check that. I'm sorry. That's a lie. No. I'm sorry. That's a lie. He tells you that he'll give you it like takes you to the end of the stage. It like warps you out of the stage. So it like you get to skip something, which, I don't know. I was pretty far into the stage. I don't know how helpful that could have been. Maybe there was something really fucked up next that I didn't have to play, but
not in this stage. This stage was pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty late what I'm talking about. You think about it, this is after you go all the way up the shaft and you're already on the roof. Like how much?
A whole lot.
Okay, yeah. So you've actually finished the stage, yeah. So I don't know, man. Just not great.
Just a fun, different mini game if you wanted to deal with deception.
Did not feel. Once you knew what you were doing, and it was still frustrating because I had already had all those fails that were like futile undertakings. Like if I had came into this and knew how to do it, maybe you only have to do enough times where it actually is fun, but that was not my experience at all. So yeah, you got to hit the fucking goons, and like any of them, anything other than the moles or the grimace, and it adds to your meter. And if you hit enough, you get whatever. So if you do win, he says, "I lost. I'll let you go. I never expected you to hit so many." And then the stage just ends, as I said. Rough. Then you're into stage 10. I called these the projects. This is absolutely still in the hood. There's more thug tweakers jumping out of windows on shovels and running down, throwing St. Ides 40 bottles at you. And there's underwear on clotheslines strung between adjacent apartment buildings. I think that's a nice touch for, this is a shitty neighborhood, shitty New York neighborhood. And there's 10 trash cans getting launched to you from some unseen tweaker force off screen. So there's just a lot of like grimy hazards in this level.
Wait, so you didn't have to fight? You didn't have to do a pizza battle then at the end of that?
Oh,
I did have to.
Great point. Holy shit! Okay,
this was the point. I was about to say, wait a minute, you skipped a part because at this point your pizza meter is as full as the Noids pizza meter. So I think for me, this was when I didn't first lose, but this might have been my first oh my gosh, he ran out of cards and I beat him because I thought it got very tough at this point. Yeah,
that's funny. It didn't even fucking occur to me. So then the warp zones are very helpful. You don't even have to do the pizza contest. That's great. And not only do you win for sure, but you don't have to use any cards. So those are massively helpful. Yeah, that's wild. Okay, yeah, okay, I gotta respect that a little. I guess that's kind of a good. That's the actual game. Sucks, but the effect it can have is good. I'll concede that. Stage 11 is a warehouse, and the soundtrack here is solid as well. Hence, you using the music from this. Got my first pinwheel pickup here, and yes, this is the invincibility thing you were talking about. It's for a limited time, and makes your jumping physics way better. They feel so much better, the physics of this. So fucking good, which is way less cool. Is the little indication, yes, that it gives you that your invincibility is going to run out, and I absolutely died just running into something because I had no clue that I was about to no longer be invincible. So that leaves much to be desired.
This was the first level that, and we'll get to it, that I not only failed at the pizza and had to come back through, and I was like, what? Oh my gosh, that it got really tough for me. It was at this point when I failed with the pizza contest, came back through and just started swinging everywhere. I got to get more cards. I got it, or I'm not going to make it through. But I also had a tough time getting through because at first, this level, this is the first level that I really started making conscious choices about the pickups. Because I started with, when the jumping first came through, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting that pickup. And I would just jump through. But I got to a part where it was I got stuck because I didn't realize you have these boxes to open up and they shoot worms out at you. I didn't know that I could defeat the box by
because it takes so many fucking attacks to do it.
So I was trying to jump over it, and a box I died so many times until I was like, all right, once I finally made it through,
I know the exact fucking spot you're talking about,
and had to come back. I was like, I'm going to get the snowflake this time and just defeat them instead of using the jump. So this level, it got really
and honestly, that one, the one that I'm thinking of, I don't even know if you can hit it. The way it's on that little platform, and you just don't have this.
There's no space,
right? Yeah, to work there. So there's I wrote here. There's a lot of really cheap shit in this level. Wooden crates flying at you from all directions, really inopportune times, particularly while platforming. Yeah, those fucking. What are they? Caterpillars or something jumping out of the boxes.
Just pop out of a box. It got really real on this level.
Sucks. Yeah, I didn't even say this is actually where I wrote for the first time. It puts you in even 18 to 18 count on the pizza stuff because I didn't even notice that I skipped that one. Yeah, so the Noids is gray in this case, and its cards are insane. I was still able to win this one, but in hindsight, on the first time but in hindsight, probably because I played too many fucking bonus cards, is why I still was able to beat him without much trouble.
Yeah, I had to come through and like pick up a bunch of different cards to come back, because this is where I mathematically looked at him and I was like, I paused and I was like, he has 1-1, 2. I was like, I can't win. I just, because I only had like 2 times.
Which you
two
can't actually, it's important to
point.
say, you can't pause. You had to click off your emulator and cheat, which, fine, I totally vibe with.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't pause and look at their cards. You have no time to make these, to make, juggle this huge puzzle in your head,
I definitely was like, wait a minute. After multiple times of like trying and failing, I was like, I mathematically cannot win this.
Right,
so
right.
I'm just going to have to lose and play the level again and look around. And that's what it took. Oh my gosh.
And I guess you do kind of, as long as you can survive the fucking level, which, as we stated, is not the easiest thing for this particular one. You do, I theoretically have infinite opportunities to do that. You can go into that pizza game, play nothing, and just lose.
Yep.
Just let the timer run out even to expedite it.
That's what I did. I was like, all right, I can't win. Let a timer.
Okay, and then just stack cards. So I guess, yeah, but these later stages are not fun enough to do that. So, Stage 12, more warehouse and conveyor belts. Suck City. That's all I have to say about that. Stage 13 is the stairwell, and this is you climb a vertical stairwell area with flower pots fall on your head, some other dumb shit shooting you. Like, what are those, sewing machines? What the fuck are those things? Tool? Like some sort of tool thing? What the fuck are those things that shoot at you in that level?
Oh, I don't even know. What is that? I don't know. You got pots. You got... Yeah, it definitely looks like a sewing machine, but it's somehow shooting like razors at you. Like,
right.
It's
yeah.
weird. I don't know. Sewing
Whatever
implementations, I don't know what that is. Like the little thing that wraps around, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of those, and then at the very end, you have one fucking cop that's rolling steel drums down at you, which is the only one was funny to me for some reason or another. And also the only time you see a cop in the whole game. The cop should be over in those fucking projects.
You're in the wrong space, buddy.
Yeah. We got some.
There's actually a ×3 on this level too that I found. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's when I was
I don't
really
think I
pumped.
have.
Like at this point, after losing in the prior stage or prior 2 stages, I was like, I am swinging and going for everything and like looking around anywhere I can. And I actually found a lot more things just going forward because I was very conscious that I needed every damn thing possible, every card I could possibly find to try to beat this game.
I had not faced the...
You had not faced true adversity yet.
Right, precisely. So I had not faced the cold hopelessness of actual defeat yet. So I come into this fucking pizza thing here at the end with... I only had 2 double cards and a pepper card. And... No, dude, no, you have no hope whatsoever.
It's mathematically not possible.
Yeah, right, correct. Yeah. So, yeah, but you don't, again, I haven't lost yet. I don't know this. I don't even know them to be required yet because I haven't lost yet. I'm still living in a delusional
Power
land.
You up land.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever the fuck that means. So, yeah, when you lose, he talks a little shit and you just get bounced back to the beginning of the stage. And Jay, human beings have not invented a unit of time or have not conceived or formulated a measurement of a unit of time that's small enough to equate to the amount of time it took me to say, nope, fuck this game and not play anymore. And just fire up a video. Like, when I got bounced back to the beginning of that stage, after it took me, this ascent took me a while to get through, comparatively to a lot of the other stages. And yeah, that happened. And like I said, it was already kind of like, when is this game going to fucking end? Like, I thought for sure that was the very end of the game. So when that happened, I was like, what am I actually going to gain by going through that? Like, it's the end of the game. Another pizza eating contest, big fucking deal. Like, I can just watch the fucking end sequence and not be miserable doing that again. So, yeah, I just fucking... I quit, watched the long play, and do you have anything interesting to say about the rest of the game?
Wow. You quit, so you did not beat the game, Josh?
I did not beat the game.
Oh, my gosh. What do we even say? Dude, I don't even... So, there was like another flying level, which was very fun. Again,
Right. That's exactly what I was going to get to. Yes, your top of the Empire State Building into the Great Wide Open is what I named this. Watching the video, and yeah, it's another chopper run, man. And like watching the long play and seeing this, I was a little sad inside. I was like, "Fuck, that looks fun."
You should be sad because it was fun. Like at this point, like there's more threes you get on that one, and I thought that was very fun. I did say at this point, I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure like I can't beat the game. Like the fact that it sends you back to replay the level to get more cards, I was like, all right, I think I have to make sure I have enough so when I get at the end I can actually beat it, you know. And so it was very satisfying to actually get to the end and beat the game which is just another pizza eating kind.
That was the thing too. Like I was sad watching that level, but when I had to do another, and it's not even that time. This is an even stage. Stage 14, the last stage is an even stage. So they're even just like giving you more pizza. And it's like, I don't need any more fucking pizza eating contests, man. I'm all set on pizza eating contests. So
he's like, I'm the boss. If I remember, he says something like he's the boss or something. Yeah, he says he's like, welcome to the pizza eating contest. I'm the boss or something. He was like, okay, so you kind of knew a little different verbiage, a little different copy there that it was going to be tough. And he had like, I want to say like 4 different 6 cards, only one card. So you like, luckily I came in with like 1 times 3, so I could use my 4 times 3 several times, like 7 times 2. So it was still tough. Like it was still kind of like, all right, kind of, you know, let me make sure I can make it through. And so I spent much more time on the last couple pizza eating contests strategizing and just making sure I could get through. So like beating it was very satisfying. You get an end sequence where you.
That's a good question though. Hold on. You mentioned spending more time on it. What do you think, and clearly we're speculating, just like we were just talking about my hummus intake over my entire life. There's no way to know. Whoa, dude, I'm watching the video. This guy's playing it again, and his Noid is black. You have to play this game a second time. Or maybe...
Like, playing it through? Because I know your Noid turns black when you have the jump power on.
Oh, maybe no. That's what it is. Yeah. And I'm just not. Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
He definitely is.
Well, there you go. Testament to me never getting that. I never turned black, so that was wild to me to say. Okay. So yeah, but much like we were just talking about with the hummus and taking my entire life, there's no way to know what would you speculate your ratio of playing the fun part of this game comparatively and pizza eating contest time? Like it's gotta be at least 1.5 to 1 in favor of pizza eating contest.
I was gonna say maybe 50-50 because I would fly through the first half of the game. I flew through all the platforming for the most part, and then second part of the game, quote unquote, I was still going fast, but I was like always swinging my yo-yo just to find stuff. But then, except for those parts where it was like really tough platforming, I would, play the pizza eating contest multiple times. Like, all right, this time when he throws a 3, I'm gonna throw a 1. I'm gonna lose. I gotta get rid of my 1s. You know what I mean? Like I spent much more time. Like, all right, I only have X amount of 3s. He has X amount of 2s. Like, really, like, thinking through it. So I would say, I think the pizza eating contest, I spent more time on. Maybe 60-40 pizza eating contest. Like, really, once I realized how important they were and that they were not just used to power you up like the manual incorrectly says, and I realized this is the boss battle. Like, in lieu of boss battle, I'm battling through pizza eating contest. I really got to focus here. So I actually enjoyed them after a while once I kind of understood the importance.
I enjoy the strategy of them, but they're too fucking long and too frequent. I enjoyed the concept to me I liked and enjoyed, but the mundanity of the repetitiveness of them and the frequency with which you had to deal with them was not acceptable to me in the long run of the game, Like, great idea, fun thing to add, leaned on it too much, maybe is the best way to put it.
I could see that. I think, honestly, and I could wait until Blessing, but we might as well talk about it now. I think it did a disservice by not explaining that better, especially for somebody like me who never reads the like, typically I don't read the instruction manuals. Obviously now I read the instruction manual and knew from researching the history, like, that they took place of the boss battles. But even that didn't kind of kick in until partway through, and I was like, okay, I got to ignore what I saw in the manual. This is a boss battle, and I got to focus because I got to win to move on. And I enjoyed that kind of puzzle strategy game aspect of it. When, as a kid, I felt like I really enjoyed the platforming because everything was platforming at the time. You know what I mean? And so my memories of this game were always the platforming, being on the wharf, throwing the yo-yo, doing all that, not the pizza eating contest part. But this time I actually enjoyed that. Maybe just because I'm older and I enjoyed like the relatively slower pace of like, all right, let me strategy, let me figure this out, like the more mental aspect of it. So I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's again, like, it was like this oscillation. Like, immediately, at first, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm like, oh, this is fucking interesting. Yeah. And like, oh, okay, like, a little harder. Like, I enjoy the strategy of this. Okay, and then back down to like, now, fuck these.
If they had laid it out in the manual, like, this replaces your boss battle. Have a strategy. Your cards carry over. Like, if they had actually laid that out to you, so you had a bet, you knew what was coming
right.
in, I think you'd be better prepared to kind of understand and really play the game. You know what
right.
I mean? The right way.
Yep. But they did not do that. So yeah, the end credits are not bad when you beat him, if you beat him. It disappointingly and unceremoniously cuts to the score counting screen before getting out with the celebration. I kind of hated that. Like, who cares? I mean, I know it's fucking scores, fucking video games, but like, right. The first thing, I don't show me the same thing that you showed me immediately thereafter that I've seen at the end of every other stage. Like, have something different happen. Like, you want to do that at the end, fine, whatever. But like, don't have, I should be celebrating immediately.
Yeah.
Or having some feeling of celebration. So the Noid and his green imposter King Should Have Turned Mountain Noid on the sidewalk in front of a bunch of high-rises. Our Noid taunting the sniveling green Noid with yo-yo tricks. And then the Noid just like fucking leaves him like, fuck you, dude. And then like, I don't know, it's like the indifference, I guess. It's not like
I'm done here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're fucking, I don't have to do it. Fuck off. You're pathetic. And then, yeah, he starts trekking back through a handful of the stages that we'd been through. He goes through, like, I think, like the financial district maybe, and the carnival situation, the merry-go-round situation, to a pizza joint where an archetype old-school Italian pizza shop guy is waiting to hand him a bunch of pizzas.
That's one of my favorite screens, honestly. Like, I wish I'd taken a print screen of that, because I was like, oh, I really like this. Like, it's something different and new, Yeah. An actual pizza shop. What do you know?
Yep. Yeah, no, the art, look, the art is very good looking. And then, it cuts to another one, what you have behind you right now, a nice looking single on our Noid hero tugging on his ears in celebration. Then it cuts to a black card where end is typed out one letter at a time, and the music finishes up. So it's a little bare bonesy, I would say, as far as the actual, like, credit sequence. Yeah. The artwork is good and fine, I think. I thought that little procession was good. The cinematic was fine, or good. But
I'm a little surprised they didn't make the pizza shop say Domino's on it. Like, there's no
right.
actual Domino's. Maybe that was like a thing that they had to either pay more for licensing. I don't know what.
Well, there's no way. No, there's no way that Capcom had to pay for anything for this. There's just no way that Capcom or Now Productions was the catalyst for this project. It had to be incentivized by Domino's. There's just no way.
Well, even further making it kind of strange, like, how come
right.
the pizza shop doesn't just say Domino's?
Agreed, yeah.
I mean, Domino's apron or something.
Yeah, and
like, if you're not an American who was familiar that this was their icon, like that this was their mascot, and you just picked up the game or playing it, you might not know that this is a Domino's pizza dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to think from a business perspective what the causation could have been. Yeah, there's a coupon in the manual, so it's not like, Domino's is openly supporting itself being affiliated with the game. Yeah, I wonder, dude. Well, no, because Turtles in Time has Pizza Hut in it, or Turtles whatever has Pizza Hut in it. So what I was gonna say is maybe there was some rule about blatant advertising in video games at the time, so. and I wouldn't know the particulars of that. But I mean, yeah, this is coming out. This is 1990, right? Yeah, 1990, same year as Turtles 2. So I mean, unless we're talking about a matter of months, something changing, I doubt that. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't as well. I agree that didn't make much sense, especially in the celebratory. Like, if you want to, whatever. There's like this combative aspect to the first part of the game, but like the celebratory moment where he's just eating pizzas and happy about it. Like, why wouldn't you want Domino's to be the pizza that he's eating?
Yeah, very interesting.
I'm surprised it didn't say, like, right in there, like, use the $1 coupon, go get some Domino's right now, celebrate with Noid. Like, fucking, why dick around? Like, we know what this is. Fucking don't fucking pussyfoot around. Fucking jump.
Yo Noid title theme, bringing us in to the verdict. And I'm just going to say it. I had fun. Would I recommend it to someone else? Like, if you're in 1990, yeah, have a blast with it. You know, enjoy your simple platforming. If it was available via a remastered version, you know, I would definitely check it out to see.
Dude, you gotta try out that fucking download, man.
That's definitely gonna play the Yo Noid 2 for sure.
Enter the Void.
Check that out. But yeah, this was always a nostalgia play for me. I'm glad I finally beat it since this was 100% a rental. I did not beat it before, so it was nice to kind of get there. The focus, like I mentioned, on the pizza eating contest, actually finally beating it was very satisfying after having failed multiple times and going back through and having to like spend much more time on the platforming instead of just kind of flying through. Because at first I was kind of unsure, like, this game seems easier than I remember, and I was kind of flying through things at first, but then when I realized, hey, I'm flying through because I'm missing stuff, I'm skipping things. I didn't even get the whack-a-mole game that you saw. There were certain pickups I didn't get until later. And so you can definitely play this game a different kind of way, but if you don't have that focus on the pizza eating contest, it's going to be tough when you have to focus on those. So I like that it put more, made you be more thorough on the platforming levels, and so I appreciated that. Again, they could have done a much better job of explaining that. The manual was woefully inadequate in this respect. If they had changed the manual, I would think it's definitely a solid game by Capcom. The graphics were really fun. The verbiage is really fun. I still had a good time with it. I'm expecting you feel slightly differently, though.
Well, you didn't say. Are you saying you're giving it the blessing?
I'm giving it the blessing.
Whoa. Yeah, no fucking way. Some of the platforming sequences are not bad, but it never comes anywhere near feeling as good as a Mega Man, a DuckTales, a Little Nemo, a Mario, games that I think are blessing caliber action platformers. And it is funny to me that three of the titles, that came to mind for that list, I was not thinking Capcom as I was cracking them off, but for the notes, but
they are all Capcom.
Yeah, it's funny to me that it is also Capcom, but is a bastard child Capcom game, and that it wasn't developed in house. So it's the funny dynamic of that to me, that it's just again so renowned for this type of game and comes up short in so many ways, and like that, all of those games, too. Well, Little Nemo, I guess, doesn't. It was not boss battle focused to the same degree. But Mega Man, that's everything. Mega Man's entire franchise is based on that idea. DuckTales was certainly boss battle focused against the major characters, So it's, again, just another thing. It's just so contrary to what is expected of Capcom. And I would hate to think that is fueling any of this. I don't think so. I think I'm being impartial as far as my perspective on it. But it is certainly interesting that the things that it lacks in so much are these Capcom staples, And yeah, we already have kind of beat the horse to death, or beating a dead horse rather, with the pizza eating contest stuff. It is such a novel idea, and I enjoyed the thinking they encouraged at times, but having one of those every other level completely eliminated any sort of real-time boss battles at all. Like, again, I didn't even think about the math of it, but the fact that that last two levels have one in each of them, and that there wasn't some action-based something for the end of the game to give, because I always talk about that payoff, that feeling, and you said you got it from winning the last pizza contest and like what was required of that, and I can hear that, but just, I guess, which is funny, action platformers are not like, well, oh man, I fucking love action platformers. It's not like that's like I have this like hard staple of things I expect, or stable of things I expect from that kind of game, that like, I'm into these all the time and we need to hit these beats and yada yada yada, but like I do feel like I need some sort of action based payoff to the end of the game. That I'd never thought about an alternative to that, and whether it would displease me or dissuade me from wanting to recommend this to someone else, or truly enjoying it, or getting that satisfied feeling of beating at the end of the game. And granted, I didn't beat the end of the game, so I'll just concede that caveat too to this perspective, that part of why I didn't feel that satisfaction, maybe I would have if I would have done that work of looping back through and that being the stand-in for that action-based boss battle moment that you would normally get from this kind of game. Maybe, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. And one thing that was, I think the music also not up to par with Capcom at all.
It's
a couple
decent,
good tracks.
but I don't love it. Yeah, a couple
good tracks.
I did not have a lot to choose from that I was very happy with.
Right, yeah, it is not. And it's funny, too, the ones you liked, those, I mean...
I'm telling you, man, it's nostalgia. I completely will concede the point. If you didn't grow up knowing that this Noid was like the mascot and like where this came from, it's kind of like, all right, you got to kind of like mini games or strategy card game. Call it a strategy card game. You kind of like that interspersed with your platformer to enjoy it. Whereas like if without all that, just coming in blind, it's kind of like, I don't know about that.
Let me ask you a question. When you do the music, at least in this case, I guess it doesn't matter what you do normally or what tends to be the case, but in this case, because in my mind, the Stage 11 track you liked, or you picked, and the Stage 5 track I picked are the only two that are really selection worthy in this entire soundtrack. Did you look at my selection before you started doing music and just never even considered it for that reason, or did you? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
I would look over. I don't want to double count them yet.
Right? Yeah, I would love for you to have been like, I picked 5, and then noticed you had on the list and fucking had to pick something else. I would have loved to hear that because I really do think those are the only two tracks that I actually enjoyed. It was all very repetitive, and again, because so much of the game feels that way, anyways. Like it only exacerbates that.
I see.
Mundanity, of playing through what I think is for. I don't know. I don't want to say that the variance doesn't warrant the length of the game, but again, it's just the pizza.
It was longer than I remember. It was longer than I expected it to be. I will say that there were more levels.
Yeah,
I did not expect it to be as long of a game as it was.
Yep,
that was funny.
Yeah, without some, just like you put, man, without some heavy nostalgia nudging you otherwise, I don't think this is something worth digging into in a modern day gamer at all. And I think the people's faith in King Lorik would suffer mightily if he were to bestow the blessing unto a game whose memorable attribute is mundanity.
That's fair. That's fair.
So that is Yo Noid on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Thanks for going along on that ride with us. Next up, we will be bouncing back to the GamePro world for issue 16. You can subscribe to the pod on the platform provider, whatever dumbass company that serves up your pottery. Please rate and leave positive shit for the pod on that podcast platform of choice or any other for that matter. The website is nyehentertainment.com/ISOHpod. You can email us directly at isohpodcast@gmail.com. Follow the pod on Facebook or Instagram or Reddit if you want to get down with us and interface with us on those platforms. A link to the YouTube gameplay videos playlist will be in the show notes, as it always is. We do not have a Patreon, but if you like giving money to things podcasters tell you to and would like to do so at our direction, the Able Gamers Foundation creates custom gaming rigs for gamers with disabilities, and that is cool as fuck. AbleGamers.org is where you can find them. T-shirts are on the website. We're wearing some of them now. They're dope, and proceeds on those after pod expenses go to Able Gamers. Jay, what are your socials?
Gentleman JB without the second E is where you can find me when I post on Instagram, Facebook, all those good places. And my gamer tag as well.
I am on Instagram at MyShiftKeyIsBroke. That is where you can find me. That's my Oculus tag as well. And I'm on Twitter at Josh Folan if you like to get a little bit of Buffalo Bill stuff peppered into your content of video games. Okay, bye.
Bye.